What's up, troopers? We're back already, Mike. Feels like it was only yesterday that we recorded.
I think just ignore last episode. Evan titled it Mandalorians Part 1. And I have to say, for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, we are not calling this Mandalorians Part 2. A, because it'll get less clicks.
Oh, that's
and
good.
B,
That's show business.
Yep. And B, because I don't know, everything's changed.
Wait, I think we're just gonna title this "The Real Mandalorian Episode."
Yeah. I think that's the right call right there. That's the title.
Cool, we got it. We appreciate everybody wasting their time by watching the last episode that we did. To be fair, at least we won't have to go over those upgrade and unit cards and command cards. So
we won't have to verbatim talk about the text,
but we will refer to some of them because they will be relevant. But yeah, boy, we got a lot to do here, and just going to do a quick shout out to, first of all, our sponsors. We have Game Toppers and we have legionterrain.com. Check out our YouTube for a couple of promo codes and links to those sites to see what is so great about them. We appreciate their sponsorship. Number two, patrons. We have a couple new ones, Corbin Reynolds and Will Ray, and one other, Cliff Yankee. Thank you very much for joining. And then after that, nothing. The deep thoughts on Mandalorian and Grogu are going to have to wait at least one more episode. I am sure that next episode we're going to be spending a lot more time talking about Mandalorian stuff because we'll probably have had some experience, but there's no time for the deep thoughts this time, Mike. Sorry to disappoint everybody.
It's okay. Newsflash for everybody, deep thoughts are generally not that deep.
Yeah, just you wait, buddy. My brother and I spent an entire half-hour car ride from uptown Baltimore to BWI talking about my deep thoughts, and they got really deep. So get ready. Okay, so yeah, we are going to basically go through this lovely document that Michael made, and really appreciate you doing this, Mike.
Yeah,
this was for full disclosure for everybody, is that I was at work for most of the day. This stuff came out. What did it come out as we're recording 2 days ago now?
No, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday,
like 2 p.m.
So the reason why my brain
less than 36 hours.
Yeah. So so are we going to call this emergency podcast, The Real Mandalorian Episode?
Sure.
We can get even more clicks that way. But the reason why I'm confused about time is A, because I've been working at the hospital, and B, I actually left work today in the context of me realizing after I got to work that I am getting sick.
Oh, no.
So yeah, we're just going to do it because we got to do it now. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to sort of finish this up tomorrow. And after that, I'm not sure how great I'm going to feel, but we will get it figured out, Michael, one way or the other. We do it for the patrons. And I also do want to give a quick shout out to Veil Drift, who for fellow Redditors did put together his own slideshow to help people move along. But the point, the advantage, I would say, of watching this on the YouTube is that we actually sort of collate everything as opposed to looking at, I'm pretty sure, 4 different PDFs in order to get 100% of the information that would be contained in these.
Yeah.
At the very least, 3 PDFs and a forum post. But we have it all here, and we are just going to get right into it. Okay. So, Mike, how surprised were you that not only did we get the definitions for the Mandalorian-centric keywords, but that 2 other definitions came in, one of which is completely unrelated. We'll talk about it probably very briefly. And the other of which is actually extremely related. And as we do this, we're gonna keep a little bit of a counter going. Mike's not hearing this right now, but for those listening, you will hear one of the two trademark classic noises, the Wilhelm scream. When you hear that, that will mean that we are documenting that somebody is taking a stray from either a rules change or a new unit. And I think we're going to be starting right here, Mike. The first keyword change, impervious. What? When a unit with the impervious keyword would have one or more block results canceled by the Pierce X keyword. Cancel one fewer result. Mike, how would you rephrase this rules change?
I would say that I'm not even. I mean, it's just Pierce is -1 against impervious.
Yeah, that's basically the way to phrase it. And have we got? I mean, assuming that we get a chance to do an interview, we can definitely ask them. I'm not sure if the Wills have like sort of come out to say we have a guess. What is your guess in terms of why this has changed, Mike?
I don't even think that this is really a guess. I think there's only one reason to do this, and I think it's the. I don't even think it's a bad reason. I'm not sure I agree with executing on it because of the reason, but the reason is that I've played Legion for 8 years. Basically, everybody I've ever played when Impervious is involved has asked me the question, how does this actually work?
Did you have a shortcut explanation, by the way? Because my shortcut explanation was that you roll extra dice relative to the number of Pierce, and you take as many wounds as blanks that you roll.
That's it. And it's actually like, once you understand that, it's very simple.
Exactly.
It's extremely simple. And yes.
But you need to take that extra step to make the mental shortcut. Because if you just look at the text in front of you, it actually does look like gobbledygook.
It does. If you just read the keyword text and you're like, what is going on here? I don't understand. Then you do a bunch of math that like is not really helpful or relevant. And then you're like, okay, so I roll the dice and then I do the Pierce and then I flip them. And then like, there's just like a very easy shorthand to do it. Yeah. So I sort of wish that they just updated the previous text to be more clear. Which, you know, it is what it is. This does have some repercussions that are gonna resonate across the entirety of the game. Much like changing snipers, changing impervious has effects here, there, and everywhere. And a lot of the units that have impervious that aren't in today's update did not receive a points change, or things with Pierce. The relative value of Pierce 1 has gone significantly down, I think, as a result of this change. As before, you at least got some value with Pierce 1 against an impervious target, as opposed to absolutely 0.
Right, because the impervious straight up turns off Pierce 1 now. I just want to make that clear.
Yes,
it is gone.
It is just gone. It is treated like it does not exist. Whereas before, it was like your opponent. So, like, before, if you were 4 Pierce 1, you would roll 5 dice, right? And then. But now, it's just they roll 4 and they still take damage. Like, in both those situations, they take damage equal to the blanks. You know, if you're making your opponent roll more dice, it's more likely that there are blanks, right? So Pierce 1 is definitely worse.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but from a math perspective, unless I'm off, you know, Pierce 3 is the maximum Pierce that there is in the game at the moment. So against Pierce 1, it's obviously literally like infinitely better. It's just like straight up better. Against Pierce 2, I believe that from a like averages perspective, it is technically the same if you don't have
there's a really big asterisk
if you don't have surge to block, and but it's also it's different in the way that, like, assuming that there's no other shenaniganry, that you are going to block the one every time, instead of sometimes being able to block 0 of them and sometimes being able to block both of the shots after Pierce. Against Pierce 3, I think it's generally universally worse than it used to be, just like as a law of averages thing. But even then, you are still automatically blocking 1, so you're never going to like miss out on all of them. But there's way more Pierce 1 than Pierce anything else in the game, right?
There is. I also would like to just like say that the
Sure.
main strength of impervious on a lot of units
Yeah.
was not the math. It was the head game of your opponent being like, man, if I hit that unit with Vader, I might do 0 damage.
That's
Right?
fair.
And that is just never, ever, ever going to happen anymore because
Correct.
your impervious unit is always taking 2 minimum against Vader or an Anakin or whatever.
I have full blocked Vader with our troopers before.
Yes, and that was and like that upside is completely removed. The high roll on impervious, which was frankly the reason impervious was good, is completely gone.
So for what it's worth. So like, yeah, let me ask you this, Mike. Has the relative value of impervious gone up or down in your opinion?
It has gone way. I think it's gone way down.
In my opinion.
Yeah. No.
Just because of it's the numbers. There's more Pierce 1 than there is Pierce anything else in this game.
But here's the thing. This is what I think is going to happen.
Sure.
Is my guess.
Okay.
Is that if there is like a high density of impervious units in the game, people are just going to stop taking Pierce 1 weapons because they won't do anything. And therefore, impervious is kind of also like you have it, that's great, I guess. But like, not only that, but a lot of these new impervious units also have duelist.
That's true. So
so like I think I think this is like a weird gray area where the value of impervious has gone down and the value of Pierce has also gone down, at least the perceived value. That's Pierce, my gut reaction generally.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like I think Pierce, yes, I would say like for sure the value of that has gone down. I still but the value of impervious would also go down if everybody abandons Pierce 1, just like as sort of a thing.
It's like one of those things where like the stock market goes up and everybody comes up together, and the stock market goes down and everybody comes down together, right?
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
that sort of
I haven't thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, like let's start counting some strays, Mike. And there you might see a theme with this.
Yeah.
So the strays would be like any army that relies on a bunch of Pierce 1 weapons and or duelists. And then like if the thing happens that you're talking about, then some of the units that would lose that would be ARC troopers, Bad Batch,
clone infantry so I got
clone infantry that carry the shotgun.
I want to just get this out of the way so we can get the Republic hate out now, but
are you sure we're going to do it all now, Mike? That's very
no,
brave of you
but
to
I
say.
think this is the largest complaint I have with this change.
Okay.
Is that 3 of the 4 clone heavy weapons for their core squads have drawbacks.
And the drawback of the one remaining one, the Z6, is that it's terrible.
Sure. But like the other 3 actually have drawbacks.
That's true.
Like they're literally things that your keyword is either removed or significantly less good a lot of the time.
Yeah. We should move on, but I will say that it is just interesting to think about the fact that up until now, there actually weren't all that many impervious units. So it was the ones I mentioned, and then like Kalani's 2-pip, and I don't even remember. And then it was all like the operatives and whatever that are now Mandalorian trooper people that were previously bounty hunters and Sabine and whatever else. But yeah, it's...
I played against...
Oh, and BX. That's right. BX had impervious also. Yeah.
I played against one of my locals, Chris, today, and he showed up with a bunch of clone infantry with shotguns, and my army had impervious on every unit. He had just a bunch of 78 point, like 4 black, 2 red. no Pierce. Like worse than a rebel shotgun.
Get good, bro.
Yeah.
All right. While we're on the subject of Republic hate, we should cover briefly Vapad Mastery. It is basically what we thought. Luckily, it is not limited to melee in either direction, although it still is on the 1-pip.
Yeah.
Which, oof. But what it does mean is that, so yes, like whenever Mace is taking range attacks, he gets to roll X extra dice to a maximum of 3 that are white dice at baseline. It does also mean that his native range attack and saber throw will get to add those extra die. Does that matter? Technically. Do you have anything else to say about Vapad Mastery, Mike? People can sort of like eyeball the right side of the screen if they want to know what his general opinions are.
I think that
the
more I think about this picture, the more it feels correct. The deeper down that rabbit hole I go, the more it feels accurate to how I feel about the situation.
Like taking strays just by this document update reminding us about the impending whatever it is of Mace Windu. So let's just add a nice Wilhelm scream for Mace Windu. One for the road as he travels down the long fall to the floor of Coruscant. So let's get back to the good stuff.
The fun stuff.
The 4 keywords these will be important. These will be very important to keep in mind as we go through the rest of this document.
These are the building blocks here.
Yeah, these are the things that we've had plenty of theories of, and now we don't have to have theories. I'm going to start with the one that we were pretty darn wrong about. Mandalorians are stronger together. So when a unit with this keyword spends 1 or more aim tokens after the effect is resolved, it gains 1 dodge token if it is within 2 of another allied unit with the Mandalorians are stronger together keyword. And then the same thing in reverse for spending 1 or more dodge tokens. You basically, like, if you spend a dodge token, you can pick another one within range 2 to gain an aim token if they share the same keyword. So you get
Well, hold up. You replace your own tokens. You're not giving other units tokens.
Oh, right. I'm sorry about that.
I just want to clarify because that's like a really important distinction because there's some effects here that do that.
Okay, yeah. God.
This is not one of them.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Mike. Mike has had more time to actually like wrap his brain around these documents than I have. But I think that for the sake of sort of moving along, we're going to go over these definitions and then we'll talk about them in the context of the actual unit cards, command cards, extra battle force effects, some might say. And so that way it'll wrap everything together. But yeah, keep that in mind is that Mandos are stronger together. It gives you extra tokens if you're hanging out together.
Yep.
This is the way. We were pretty much right on with our main guess of how this works. It is that it is, we'll say covert for short. It is technically children of the watch. Faster to say covert, but when that gets in order, you can pick X units within range 2, and then they get to perform that action. That's pretty much what we thought it was. But remember, it is a free action, and keep that in mind because there's going to be ways to multiply this by many free actions. So that will be kind of crazy. Okay. And then here are the 2 that we had no idea about, including one we didn't even know it was called. That one is victory or death. This is the Clan Saxon keyword. When an allied unit with the victory or death keyword suffers 1 or more wounds from an enemy attack, after the attack is resolved, the allied unit may gain 1 suppression token. If it does, it may gains 1 aim token or dodge token. That's okay. There's a lot of text in these PDFs. We are more than happy to forgive a typo, but we will point it out because we're terrible people. So yeah, keep that in mind is that basically Clan Saxon gets to get tokens after they get hurt at the mere cost of 1 suppression token. We fight for our family. This is the Clan Ren ability. When a unit with We Fight for Our Family keyword makes an attack action after the effect is resolved, choose another allied unit with the We Fight for Our Family keyword within range 2 if able. The chosen unit gains 1 dodge token. So what they do is that their buddies get to take a dodge if they're close to you when you attack, is the other way that I would say this. And you might want to sort of wrap your brain around the possibility that a unit could have both Mandalorians are stronger together and We'd Fight for Our Family at the same time.
Or any of the other keywords.
Or any of the other keywords with Mandalorians are stronger together at the same time. A thing that may or may not come up later. Okay, let's move on. This is maybe the part that a lot of folks who are listening to this or watching on YouTube may be the least aware because this was the forum post that we referenced, but it is actually very important that we go over this before certain units in particular are talked about. So I'm assuming that these PDFs are going to get updated with the real stuff, but there were a couple of oopsies. Again, with so much stuff,
That's a lot.
Totally understandable that some oopsies happened, and good on AMG for just like getting out there right away, and we can help spread the word. So the first thing, clan run veterans are not whatever points they're listed as with 3 base members. They're actually 92 points with 4 base members.
Yeah, they're listed as 70 at 3.
Yeah.
So
they're actually 92 for 4.
Yep.
It's good that they didn't. It's good that they did remember to increase the cost as they increase the base size of the unit. But yeah, that will come up a little bit later. And then the Best God Duelist upgrade is actually better than, I think it's listed as 1 red die on the PDF.
That's correct.
But it's actually 2 red die with Pierce 1. And then there is an additional effect that we'll talk about when we get to that upgrade card. And then the rest of it is basically specifying that once the Mandalorian products are released and legal for play, the following upgrade and unit cards are being removed. So the prior Mando Resistance plus the prior Clan Ren, like those will be completely gone. And I was actually surprised that there weren't a couple additions to this list. We will get to that later. And then the other thing is that a list of things are getting Mandalorian Trooper added to it. So that is Din Djarin, Gar Saxon, Mandalorian Super Commandos, Sabine Wren, and Sabine Wren Explosive Artist. That's the Rebel version, right?
That is the Rebel version.
Yeah, okay. And then 2 more that surprised me. I understand why, but the lore part of me is upset, Mike. That would be Boba Fett Daimyo and Boba Fett Infamous Bounty Hunter are now going to be Mandalorian Troopers. The reason they did this is to make upgrade cards less silly in terms of how they can slot into him. And it does allow him to take, I think, a couple new things that are on the list that we have coming up.
Yes, he technically could take 2 whipcords now.
Yeah, there you go. That was so in a way it's actually sort of like a stealth buff to Boba Fett by giving him access to a couple of new upgrades, even though they didn't actually change anything aside from the addition of Mando Trooper to this. My lore argument is that he is literally quoted in the Mandalorian show saying, I never said I was a Mandalorian. So LFL, if you're listening, we're just trying to do our part.
Oof. All right.
Sorry, please don't be mad at us, AMG. I can't help myself. I'm terrible. And then there's a bunch of upgrades that are getting removed. I think, like, the way I would summarize this is that if there was any Mandalorian that, with one exception that I'm aware of, if there was any Mandalorian that had stuff named after them in terms of like their personal shields or whatever, is that they're gone because they're replaced by the Mandalorian, like the new generic upgrades. Yes. The weird exclusion to this is that Gar Saxon, the Shadow Collective version, which surprisingly does remain as its own card, does still have access to the rifle and the jetpack rocket that he previously had, but not the combat shield and the flamethrower. Again, my brain is sort of melting.
Part of that is that they had to be separate unit cards because they have different affiliations.
They have different affiliations, right? Because we'll get to this, but I do feel like there's going to be at least a few players early on who are like, this stupid horn helmet thing. Sorry, it is stupid. Mike and I agree on it. But anyway, the stupid horn helmet thing, in this one it's like red and in this one it's black, but that they still look kind of similar to each other. But those actually are 2 different affiliations.
They're 2 very different affiliations.
Yeah, what's again? Boy, we'll get to that, but the short version of that is that as far as I'm aware, those are the only 2 like named. This is so and so's flame projector or whatever. or so-and-so's jetpack rocket that actually stick around. Everybody else has got sort of piled into this Mando jumble. So, yeah, cool. Now we will get to the actual, what is the Mandalorian battle force? Mike, the way that this is structured, did it surprise you that it doesn't actually pigeonhole you into one of like the quote 5 main faction choices?
So yeah, I mean, not to bury the lead too much, but yes, I was very surprised.
Yeah. So what do we mean by this?
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, go ahead and read this stuff. I've been reading too much already. Tell us how the Mandalorian battle force works.
Yeah, so in a Mandalorian clan, mercenary units do not count toward the minimum number of ranks required, and the army may include any number of mercenaries at each rank. All units included in this army must have the same affiliation as at least one commander or one operative in this army. This is the big, I almost wish this was bolded in the document, like bolded and underlined.
I've seen a few illegal lists floating around.
Yes.
Already.
So what this means is that if you want to take Clan Saxon Mandos in your list, you have to take Gar or Rook, right? If you want to take Kryze Mandos in your list, you have to take Bow or Axe. And if you want to take both of those things in your list, like Kryze Mandos and Saxon Mandos, you have to have one from each, right?
Yeah.
I think much like there's several times I'm going to say this today, this is going to be much, much easier to do once the customs come out.
Yeah. We will get to that later.
Yeah.
So, in detail.
The rest of this is during setup. A player may choose to align their army with a lighter side or dark side. That has no bearing on anything right now. You can kind of ignore it. And then there's another clause on here that I've left the rest of it off because we're going to go on it, like over it, because we're going to go through each clan one by one. But during army building, if all of your commanders and operative units have the same affiliation, which implies that all of your other units in the army have that same affiliation because you couldn't take other ones, your army gains that affiliation's special rules. And so these special rules that we'll talk about later when we get to each clan are different than the clan keywords that you got.
Please remember this.
Which is like kind of confusing for the first couple hours that you're thinking about Mandalorians in your life.
That was another thing that surprised me, Mike. I thought that you were going to be strictly forced into one of the 5 sub-factions. Mm-hmm. And, I think it's cool the way that they made this. Like, having more customizability is basically always a good thing, as long as that doesn't cause balance problems. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I was like timing in my head. How long is it going to take before Mike says something snarky about the comment that I just made?
Yeah.
But it does technically mean that you can have an army to where you have like Din and Axe and Ursa and Gar Saxon. As your like 4 peoples.
Yes.
And then take a potpourri of different clan whatevers in the army. And there may even be situations where making something like that can be somewhat optimized. Like I doubt that we've really delved and deep enough into this to be able to say that'll be for a future episode.
Oh, no, we're going to talk about one today. It's very...
Okay, cool. Mike's going to tell us about it.
I'm way deep in the tank on that one.
Right.
There's one that is clearly busted.
We will get to that. Awesome.
Yeah.
So glad to hear that it's busted.
Yeah.
And then, Mike, as far as the allowed units go, is there anything here that you want to sort of call out in particular?
I think the only thing that I found pretty surprising, I'm not going to read off the allowed list because it's basically, it's everything in the leaders. It's pack. It's everything that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
If we didn't talk about it today, it's not allowed. Is pretty much what I'll say. I was surprised that they capped Mando initiates at 2.
At 2, yeah.
I was surprised about that.
Asterisk on that one, by the way. With the covert,
we'll get there. I don't know. If there's
maybe not a meaningful
asterisk on that.
Yeah, the technical asterisk. Anyway, yeah.
But
you can only have 2, and then for the rank requirements, really the only thing that's actually different from the rule book is that you only need 2 core. Otherwise, it's the same as standard army building.
Well, there's one thing that I haven't seen anybody talk about anywhere on Discord that I actually think is really interesting. The rank requirements here, and this might have just been a copy paste because the rank requirements are basically the same as like a normal list, outside that the minimum core option is 2 to 6 instead of 3 to 6.
Right.
But presumably, the vehicle that Mandos are gonna get is not a heavy. It is the new air support rank or whatever it is, and there is still a heavy rank on this Battle Force document.
So the heavy rank will be relevant for the customizable version of the Battle Force right off the bat.
Do you think that's the only reason that's in there, though?
It's also future proofing. Like, the Ewok Battle Force still has support listed without actually having a legal thing for it.
Maybe I'm reading too much into this. I just this says up to 2, and there's even if you're using the custom rules, that's not legal.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the maximum you could do is 1, even with the custom rules. But yeah,
you think this is just future proofing?
I think it's future proofing. Yeah, right. And that's from the support angle, the other funny thing about that is that because they're all detachments, is that none of them would actually count towards your maximum at the moment anyway. And so I could see a Mandalorian ATRT getting tossed in there at some point in the future as well.
Mandalorian, especially like swoop bikes or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm sure that there's plenty of room to go, but I think it's just future proofing. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. A couple of these had been revealed in the past, but we actually never went over them on the cast. Part of that was probably just because I forgot to a couple times, and then the other part is that we didn't have the full picture. I'm pretty sure the 1 pip is newly revealed, right, Mike?
The 1 pip was revealed yesterday. Yes, we had
So let's go over from 3 to 2 to 1 what these generic Mandalorian. Well, these are all generic Mandalorian clans. Battle Force. Just to clarify, the image on the left is a little bit cut off, but that is also Mandalorian clans only. So, Mike, how about we go 3, 2, 1? What do these command cards do that are usable for any of these battle forces?
Yeah. So, I'm gonna read them all out, but the shorthand for all of these is they give your units charge. So basically all of them. So in one way or another. So the 3 pip is weapons are our religion. It hands out orders to 3 units. When a unit is issued an order with this card, it gains charge this round. And this is a big deal, the weapons of all allied Mandalorian trooper units gain versatile this round. That second sentence does not require an order. Your entire army just can fire out of melee. This card, all of these cards are excellent.
All these cards are bonkers good.
These
it might be the best trio of Battle Force cards so far.
I think this is the best trio of generic faction cards, period. Battle Forces, it's better than the Rebel Empire, all of them. This is just this is the engine of every Mandalorian clan list is these 3 cards.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
They have an embarrassment of riches for command cards to pick from, and that's not even including character-specific ones. It's kind of crazy what you'd be able to do with just completely generic armies, already off the bat.
It's kind of crazy when we're only handing out 1 command card to all these new heroes, and man, I don't know.
Man, anyways, still taking strays as he continues to fall towards the city floor of Coruscant. Okay, so what do we got for the 2 pip, Mike?
Yeah, we've got aerial assault. It is 2 units. When a unit with the jump X keyword, newsflash, that's most of them, is issued an order with this card, it may make a jump to action. So during the command step. This round, when an allied unit with a face-up order token and the jump X keyword attacks, it gains death from above until the end of the round. That second paragraph with death from above is nice. It is not what this card is about. This card is No Time for Sorrows, on any Mandalorians in your army, except you get to jump and maybe move at speed 3, because this is not like a speed X move. This is a move at your movement speed on your card move.
Yep.
So this is like a very quick. So like if you at the end of like last turn popped your Mandos out and shot, you can then top of turn play this and hide them again. Or you can play this if you have priority, and then you play this, you move your guys forward, you move them forward into melee, and then attack. Like, that's why I said this card pseudo gives them charge if you want it to be. It also gives them kind of pseudo steady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like pseudo relentless, really.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's only 2 units. You do have to have a face-up order to actually take advantage of this card. But yeah, very good.
You can't HQ uplink cheat the way that you. It's funny, you can't even do that with no time anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has to come from this card. But boy, like out of activation movement is good. Like start of activation phase movement is good. Like no matter what way you slice it.
Yeah.
But like when it's a jump and it's up to speed 3, yo.
It's so good.
Yo,
it's so good.
And then yeah, like you said, getting death from above is just like is pure bonus. Like a lot of the time that is going to be for melee attacks anyway.
It's also notable that unlike No Time, this is an action, so it triggers things like tactical.
Boy. As a reminder, Leia's courage too. There you go, Leia taking strays. I didn't even think that she was going to be taking strays, but yeah, Leia, go ahead and Wilhelm scream on your way down to the forest floor this time.
Yeah.
Okay, the brand new one.
Yeah,
we are Mandalorians.
We are Mandalorians. One Mandalorian trooper unit, which is going to be anything in your list. When a unit is issued an order with this card, it gains Inspire 2 this round and may make a speed 1 move. Again, we're kind of getting that like pseudo charge, steady, relentless effect from this. This round, when a unit issued an order by this card attacks during the form attack pool step, it may add X black attack dice to one of its attack pools to a maximum of 5, where X is the number of suppression tokens on other allied Mandalorian trooper units within 2 of the attacking unit. I attacked with a 70-point Mandalorian warrior unit today for 9 black, 4 white, 5 red, Pierce 1 with this card.
The dice pools.
I just so that we're clear, like about like what this card can do, because we'll get to the like how the extra dice hit the Mandalorian warrior unit later, but this card is
nuts.
This card is bonkers. Yeah, I just straight up killed a Bo-Katan straight like from Full to Dead. So
that's pretty good. And like if you're talking about like if you play this on round 3, when you're in it, like guys are gonna have suppression tokens. Like yes, it depends on having a unit you want to shoot with that's next to other stuff that has suppression tokens. That said, with cohesion, you can make range 2 pretty darn far out for the attacking unit, especially if it was a super squad of male or initiates, but you're probably doing it with warriors or fire support team.
Suppression is like everywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
It's very easy to turn this text on. Not only that, but in my limited experience of only playing 1 game with this faction so far, it doesn't seem to handle suppression super well. As far as removing it goes, I think that there are a couple exceptions to that, which we can get into.
We will get into this, yes.
But I think the majority of the clans, like once you are like hitting suppression, like you're gonna have it'll be around. Like this is gonna hit for at least 3. I think getting to 5 is not gonna be hard. Also, like this is just a Mandalorian trooper unit. This is like Din Djarin is a Mandalorian trooper unit, like the Armorer is a Mandalorian trooper unit. Like we're talking about, just so that we can add to our stray counter, the Armorer with this card throws 11 dice Pierce 2. Oh, hey, Mace Windu, like what's up?
Oh man, it's like Stop it! He's already falling down.
Like what?
Somehow, even he's between these buildings. He keeps taking strays from God knows where.
The armorer gets to make a speed 1 move and gets inspired too, and like okay, all right, and doesn't have to take wounds. So, this card is really good. Put it in your lists and profit. All of these cards, frankly.
At least this time they did remember to limit it to one of the attack pools, unlike Frenzied Gunner, which I'm sure that we'll get to that again next time. But we don't even have time to toss any more language about that. So moving on, we've already talked about these, so we will just sort of push past them. But I think the thing to mention is to remember that these 3 generic units all have the Mando helmet upgrade. Do you remember what that slot is called? Or
I don't actually know the technical name for it. I think the important part of these cards that I wanted to call out today is that I actually think that these cards technically have affiliations right now, and it's just like whatever the custom Mandalorian affiliation is. I think that's the same symbol.
That's the baseline one, right?
Yeah.
Is the Mythosaur affiliation. We'll call it that. Yeah.
Now, there's no characters you can take with that affiliation right now, so you can't actually put these in your list without giving them an upgrade card. But...
keep that in mind. All right. We have gone over their upgrades, but this is just to remind folks that these are the heavy weapon options for all of those generic cards that we showed.
Yep.
And that, again, like for these 3 units, they can be whatever clan they want to be, and we will show you how later.
Yep.
So here's where we get into some new stuff. So we have, this is a list of, these are the 3 generic gear upgrades for Mando generics. And interestingly, they're for shields. We're going to see another one in a little bit that is sort of a different version of this. But for the non commander or operative Mandalorian troopers, they can just pay 10 points to get 2 shields straight up that cannot come back, the same way that the Super Commandos and Clan and Mando Resistance already had access to. So that's actually not too much of a change. It's still 10 points. It seems like a lot still to me.
But
it's
not great. But
yeah. Then we have the Flame Projector. This is 2 pips, so can't have any more than 2 of them in your army. Asterisk. We will get to that later.
Yep.
And it is a 5 point to expend when this unit attacks. 1 miniature in the unit below one miniature in the unit may use the weapon below. It is 1 red dice. 1 red die with blast spray and suppressive with range melee to 1. And we thought that this was maybe going to give Arsenal, but they figured out a different way to limit, because the thing that they couldn't do was let all 9 of the Mando initiates use the flamethrower, so that you throw like 110 attack dice or whatever. So yes, they limited to 1 miniature using it. But it does mean that old Axe Woves is maybe not quite as great as we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably fine, but I do think that if you don't have for Mando characters that do not have Arsenal, the Flame Projector is significantly less of an option, I think, than it would have been. I'm not saying it's not an option, but
it is only 5 points still.
It is only 5 points, but 5 points is still, it's not nothing, right?
It made it, like, honestly, this made this, I think it's still a really good buy on the non-unique units, because then it's like it's a one-time like mega thing.
I mean, I would go a step farther than that. I actually think the Flame Projector on, say, a Warriors unit that has Duelist and 10 dice in melee normally, but 8 with this.
Max it out.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden it's like 13 Pierce 1. It's like it's probably into a normal squad. If you're hitting a super squad, you're in the 17 Pierce 1 dice range, and that's like way better than Din or Boba ever was.
Put 2 of these in your army.
Yes.
If you're running Mandalorians.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably that's easy to say.
If you don't have a character with Relentless or with Arsenal 2, you should definitely put them on the Warriors.
Yeah, on the Warriors. Exactly. And then we have a Whipcord Launcher. So this is only for the commanders or operative Mandalorian troopers. But again, it can be on any one of the now bunches of unique Mandalorian commanders and operatives, which we will be getting to some of the new ones later. But it is also 2 pips, action, choose an enemy unit within range 1 and in line of sight, and then expend the card. The chosen unit gains 2 mobilize and 2 suppression tokens, so similar to Sabine. I think it's the same as Sabine's whipcord.
It's literally
basically
the same as Sabine. Yeah.
Well, hers tapped, and so now
yeah, sure.
this just expends every time. Thank God, because there's enough ways to get recover actions that
Yeah, that's fair.
tapping it would have been problematic.
But you can still take 2, right? Like,
you can, yeah,
you know, or 3, depending on asterisk.
Yeah, again, we'll get to that later. But yeah, like this is good. It sort of, it is kind of crazy to think about, because like in the context of various whipcord things that in a diceless way just hand out immobilized tokens. It used to only be Sabine and Boba Fett, I think, and now it's a whole lot of people.
You could put like Cad Bane in that bucket, sort of.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But yes, I mean, like, you know, we're talking previously to this cast, like Axe is probably going to be really good with a flamethrower. I think though, you're actually putting a whipcord on him. Frankly,
does he only have 1 gear slot?
I would have to look.
I guess we'll see in a second once we go over the cards for Clan Ren. So, all right. Next thing, we have seen we've seen the Initiate Squad, Super Squad, so we'll just move on to Jetpack Rockets. This is 10 points. It is also an expend. It is anti-material 4, impact 4, with a baseline of 4 black attack dice, range 3 to 4. So it's funny the strange journey that Jetpack Rocket ranges have taken since their first version. Has gone back and forth a lot, but this one is now sort of like finalized that you have to be sort of at regular long range to use these, which is probably good because, boy, this is now really good, especially at range 3.
I'm sorry. I'm ice cold on this.
Ice cold.
I am ice cold. I think these are probably the worst iteration of Jetpack Rockets we've gotten. There's no blast on these.
It's true there's no blast, but you know, like if you're doing a range 3 attack with warriors or super commanders or commandos or whatever, especially if you're attacking a vehicle where you're getting the anti-material bonus, which functionally will change these 4 black dice into 4 red dice. It is, you're paying 10 points for at worst 2 extra attack dice. Often 3 extra attack dice compared to what you were doing, and then a decent chance at having a dice upgrade. So I don't know. Like it seems like it's still pretty good. Is it an automatic 2 of the way that the flamethrower is? Like definitely not.
No, yeah,
I think that there's a place for it.
Yeah, we'll see. I just don't think this army wants to fight at this range band basically ever. After playing them, like
I think that, I mean, I don't know. You think of the way that Super Commandos function in Shadow Collective lists before. They would usually take a big range 3 attack, and like they usually actually were using this. They were usually using rockets in round 1, and then they could still do it now, especially if they're shooting at a vehicle. Like if you're doing a moose shoot with something, then you can just like toss 4 impacting red die at an armored vehicle. Like that's not a bad way to get some oomph out of your round 1, when normally Mandos on round 1 are doing like nothing except moving, right?
So here's the thing. And
sure.
This will become, I think, more evident as we get through it, but the thing about it is that the 2 units that you are probably doing that on are either the Special Forces slot units or the fire support units. The fire support units are already like 90 points with a heavy weapon, like pre-jetpack rockets.
Sure.
The jetpack rockets does not add a lot. It's like adding like 3 dice, which is like okay, but it's like 1 time. It's like adding like 1.5 hits maybe. And
a dice upgrade against vehicles also.
And a dice upgrade against vehicles. Yeah. It could be an okay vehicle hedge for like 1 shot.
Yeah.
But the the special forces are just so expensive that like you just got to get them where they need to be. Like you can't afford to be taking like random pot shots to. At least I don't think you can. That's my gut reaction to this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think that like the old version of Super Commandos, which obviously wasn't like knocking people's socks off, but they probably would have taken this even if they had to choose between this and the old version that had blast. I think they still would have taken it in order to allow for like a big range 3 hit. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like I definitely don't think it's terrible. I also don't think it's not to include the way that the flamethrower is.
I could see it being 5 points in a year. I think.
I think
is how
that's
I
definitely possible.
feel about it. Yeah.
Okay, and then next we have also 10 points, but decently different, is the personal combat shield. So this is for the commander or operative Mandalorian troopers. It gives you shielded 1 and recharge 1. And then this has the thing that TFT's own famous Gar Saxon's shield that once we were the ones that took on the burden of giving that card to the people back in the day, for those that remember. But it does the same thing to where if you get to the end of a turn where the shield didn't flip, then you get to flip the shield. And so this is another interesting one because just like with the whipcord, this is something that had been available to Sabine, but basically Sabine and Gar Saxon before, and now is available to a whole boatload of other peeps.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be a common choice?
I was in the boat that the previous iterations of it were too expensive, and it's the same cost. That's generally how I feel about it. I personally feel like a shield on a unit that rolls surging red saves, which is all of the units that this can go on, I think, is like it's worth like 1/3 of a roll of a hit.
What if your army is going to be barfing at recover actions all day?
I still don't. I think if they were mid-turn recover actions, I would be more sold on it. As opposed to like command step recover.
Yeah.
Just so that you could like, yeah. That's my gut feeling. Again, I think this might be like a little too expensive, at least for my taste. I don't think it's untakeable, but I don't love the cost.
That's fair.
But I haven't loved the cost on this upgrade for the last however many years spent in the game. So
you could give it to Paz to have him soak up some extra shots while he's a turret on the shields.
If it yeah, if it stopped a sniper shot, I might be more into it.
ooh, that's a stray to most units in the game. Catching a stray right there, tough.
Yeah,
including the Mandalorians. Go figure. Okay, so now we're going to get into the battle forces.
Stuff.
Yeah, this is the good stuff, folks. All right, so as a reminder, the text for This Is the Way is over there on the right. But Mike, why don't you tell us what the covert battle force gives if you have, I believe the rule is like if you are nothing. So is it? Yeah, go ahead. Repeat to us the rule of what it takes to take these extra special rules.
Yeah, so this is the sub bullet to the original paragraph that says if all of your commanders and operatives have the same affiliation, in this case being covert, you get the following effect. The effect is your army may include any number of Mandalorian initiate units, but must still follow this battle force's rank requirements, which is to say you can take up to 6 initiates instead of up to 2. When a Mandalorian initiate unit equips a unique personnel upgrade, reduce the cost of that upgrade by 5 points. Yeah.
And then as a reminder, so that's going to mean the Paz, Din, and armor personnel upgrades would each be 5 points less.
Correct.
5 points fewer. Oops, I should say. Yeah, got myself one right there. But is there anything I'm missing, or is there really only those 3 at the moment?
That is, there are only 3. This is going to be. I'm just going to call this out for a minute. Like, I mean, I guess this calls out unique personnel upgrades. I don't know what other unique personnel upgrades would go there. I feel like there are no generic personnel upgrades in the entire document. It feels kind of weird because like every unit has them. I don't know.
Oh,
I think
there's the super squad is generic personnel.
only for the initiates,
Right,
but
right.
every other unit also has personnel slots.
Yeah, that's fair.
It
That's fair.
feels weird that there's not like a generic like specialist, or that like gives you a token or something. I don't know. So
But even then, it wouldn't apply to this because this only applies to the unique ones. But
yeah,
yeah, so I guess this one feels like kind of a weak effect because, or in a way, it also makes covert maybe like more splashable because you're missing out on less if you're not doing a pure covert battle force.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that so this is the only thing you get from playing all covert is this text box.
Yeah, so a maximum of 15 fewer points for your army.
And you got to take at least one of the three things that would go into that slot in the commander operative slot already.
When the customs are out,
That might not be true, sure.
Yeah,
but like at least
yeah.
for the next couple months, like this
Right.
is going to be the case. So the maximum you're getting back here is 10. And it's only when you put them in initiate squads.
Yeah, fair.
I don't think initiate squads are good. So I think you can play covert. I think there are lots of reasons to play covert, but this is not one of them. Is my take.
I agree. I agree. And to add to that, like let's go ahead and talk about the first of. We're just going to call these clan upgrades. We're not sure what they're called. We're going to call them clan upgrades. So there's two different versions. There's Champion of the Watch and there's Children of the Watch.
Yes.
And so one of them is for your operatives and commanders, and the other one is for the actually, like technically the other one can be put on any of them, which is like sort of funny, but I don't think that there's a reason why you would use the commander and operative one is just like straight up better.
So the reason the Children of the Watch one exists is so that you can put it on initiates as well. You still need to give them the affiliation in order to like unlock the battle force effect. It's also relevant for like keying if you're running multiple clans at the same time. You do have to like key your clans because like you can't use other clans' keywords most of the time.
So both of these change the affiliation to covert, and then for the commander operative, you get this is the way aim one or dodge one, and then if you're a Mando warrior, you get this is the way dodge one. If you're a Mando warrior fire support, you get this is the way aim one. If you're an initiate, you get to be in the covert, and that's all you get. So yeah, like this is where I haven't really figured out yet to what extent like you can sort of just jam a bunch of extra orders in there apart from what you are getting from command cards.
So I've looked at this a bit. There is the short answer is it's pretty much seize the initiative.
Okay.
There is basically 0 comm slots, specifically in the. I would have to look at all the special forces ones, but because there is no special forces options for covert, and it's literally just core and the support fire support squad, like there's just no comms slots other than like on Din, I think.
Yeah. And then there's also the commander for operative version of Seize the Initiative, which I always forget the name of.
Trusted Agent.
Trusted Agent, yeah. So
but
that
again,
was sort of in the same boat.
But as far as like free orders for like units that are not characters, I haven't figured out. There might be a way to do it, but I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, probably hopefully on purpose to limit the amount of just like token spam, as if that's not already going to be a thing in certain versions of the Battle Force. We will get to that. And then you might tell us about the one sort of generic covert command card that exists out of the shadows.
Yeah, so first of all, this is not a covert exclusive command card. And
it's exclusive to covert commander or operative.
Yes, which is very important because you can play this in Empire or Rebels.
Yes.
So out of the shadows, 2-pip, it orders 2 covert units, up to, I guess I should say. It has two effects. The effect when you play it is this round, each time an allied covert unit makes an attack against a unit that has a face-up order token. After the attack is resolved, that unit's controlling player shuffles that unit's order token into the order pool, and then the defending unit gains the suppression token. So presumably they get a suppression from the attack, and then they get another suppression from this. So if you... I guess if you have Overwhelm or Suppressive, you could hand a unit like 3 suppression tokens with this. Additionally, it has a divulge effect, resolve setup effect step. Choose 2 allied covert units. The chosen units have infiltrate this game. You can take this command card if you have a covert commander or covert operative in your list. Newsflash, the new Din Djarin, which we'll get to in a minute, is a covert operative, and his new card, which is the covert version, goes into Empire and Rebels the same way his old card did. So you can just like give your Din infiltrate at the beginning of every game by taking this card, and play his 1-pip on turn 1 to give him relentless.
But it's pretty good, Mike. It's funny that the effect of this card is here's a couple more strays for free. That they are very, very similar. One, they're both sort of like other Battle Force / faction cards. So one of them is pinned down. The other is tactical planning in the 501st Battle Force. Those are cards that
strictly better.
They shuffle orders back in, but then this is like, oh, you're Mandalorians. You get a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, it's like strict. The text effect is strictly better because it adds a suppression token and it has a divulge effect.
This is how Palpatine players felt when Yoda first came out.
Yeah.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
Funny how power levels change over time.
Yeah, if you have a covert character in your list, like, you probably are just taking this card. I think
this is really, really good.
Yeah, you can do some like insane things, specifically with like, the Mando cards. You can there's just a lot. You can infiltrate any unit and then give it charge on turn. like okay, so
yo. It's the amount of stuff going on with this PDF update is just like totally nuts. And yeah, as a bonus, like for Din in particular, I don't think too many people were playing Din's 2-pip. I like those odds. Like, most people just played This Is the Way, and then that's it with him. So, like, it's pretty good. Infiltrating Din, it's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anyway, let's move on. So we got the armor.
I think we've talked about all this.
We've talked about these. We talked about the armor. We talked about pause. So this is just like the confirmation that Din and Grogu themselves are only changing in the sense that their symbol, their faction symbol, has changed from the like bounty hunter generic credit symbol thing to the covert symbol for both of them. And so the old cards are invalidated. So these are the actual new versions. Otherwise, the baseline text for these has not changed. However, Mike, Din got a new toy, the Darksaber.
Yes.
As all versions of Darksaber, except for Maul's, because he has the keyword anyway, is that it grants him immune pierce.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe this is the same as, again, pretty much everything except Maul, which is that it's 5 black dice, and it is impact 1, pierce 1. That said, it's time for another stray. The Beskar Spear is 5 points more than this for fewer dice, with an upgrade that technically Duelist does give some. No, wait. It's just straight up worse than this, right? Because you get baseline immune pierce.
I've thought about this a lot. I've seen people have conversations about this. I think that it is very relevant in that. Obviously, in Rebels and Imperials, you're just taking the Darksaber. It's just like Din is 5 points cheaper.
It's literally just better. Yeah.
However,
You might run them alongside Bo-Katan, maybe.
You might. There are a number of other characters in this battle force that can
or a
take the
Saxon
dark
person,
saber.
maybe. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Or Sabine.
Oh,
Like
right.
there are several
fair.
other characters that can take the dark saber. So there is a cost to putting the dark saber on Din.
Fair enough.
That is non-zero. I'm not saying that like you know and I do think the spear being more expensive is still weird.
It's still funny.
but I do think it's not like an objective like the darksaber is just why is it cheaper? It's like it is a limited option that multiple characters can take, and if you're taking it on Din, that means Bo doesn't have it or Sabine or whatever. Whereas the Beskar spear doesn't do that to you.
In that way, the Beskar spear was exactly the same way it was in the show, where it was actually only used for 3 episodes and then completely abandoned.
Yes, yeah.
In favor of the darksaber. So
I mean,
it's canonical.
Thematically, this should be like 60 points to represent its weight, right?
Yeah, exactly. God, it's still so weird.
Definitely should have cumbersome at a bare minimum.
Yeah, what the hell? Okay, cool. So that's Din. And then we have talked about these cover-specific character upgrades. And so now you can sort of picture in your brain that this is actually a 25, a 35, and a 35. It makes them more palatable. It still feels like
it's only
kind of
25,
expensive.
35, and 35 if you put them in the
initiates. If you have all covert people.
And you put them
only
in the
initiates.
If you put them in the warriors, which are the actual squads you want to put them in.
Especially Paz.
You can't.
Armor,
armor
is okay in initiates, but yeah, even she's better in warriors. Like if I'm being honest,
yes,
so
yeah. Also, it should be noted if you put these in initiates, it prevents you from taking the super squad. So,
yeah, that's true too. Whoops.
So there's
so
like additional
keep
value
that in mind.
loss
keep that in mind.
So
right.
before we move on, I do just kind of want to like. We know what this is the way it does. There is basically the way that this clan is going to function is you're handing out orders, and your orders to your characters and your warriors squads are going to trigger either giving aim tokens out if you're giving it to a warrior squad. I would have to let me just like back up real quick. An aim token, if you're giving it to a fire support squad, that fire support squad is giving somebody else an aim token.
You
not
cannot give
themselves,
it to yourself. Remember
right?
that. Yeah.
If you're giving it to a regular warrior squad, it's giving somebody else a dodge token, right? And if you're handing it to a character, if it's pause, he's handing out aims, and if it's the armorer, she's handing out either a move or a couple recovers. And so that's the whole thing you're trying to do with this clan. Is you're trying to just like get orders in these specific places to get tokens. I'm going to be honest. I don't see the strength of this quite yet, at least in an isolated fashion. I think it's cool. It's a thing you get to do. I think the recover thing is cute. There's not a lot of untappable things specifically in this faction and within covert by itself. And you can only use this as the way on other covert units. So there is no way to use this as the way on non-covert units. Just like period, end of story. That won't be true for other factions and their keywords. But for this faction, like it is exclusive to covert.
Which is also thematic, but
yes.
I feel like, we will see. I think that these folks seem to have been built around sort of needing this is the way in order to make them efficient.
Yeah.
And it can make them quite efficient in the right circumstance, but you're not always going to have that circumstance, and it requires your army to be close to each other in a way that feels a little bit more limiting than the other two sort of friendly faction abilities that we're going to be talking about. And then appropriately, it's worth pointing out that the Clan Saxon is like the one that only cares about themselves and doesn't mind what's going on with their neighbors. So that'll be important to keep in mind. So let's get to one of those that maybe somewhat superior to the covert ability. Clan Crease so if all of your commanders and operatives are Clan Crease, then you will get to use this thing. During the remove token step of the end phase, choose up to 3 green tokens on allied units. The chosen tokens are not removed. Oh my god, Mike.
So
yeah, super mega vigilance, right?
I think
Wow.
so. I played Clan Crease today.
Okay, yeah. You want to talk about this now or after we get to going over the rest of the stuff?
Well, I want to talk about something very specific.
Okay, got it.
I think once you can jam 2 vigilances into this clan, right now you can only jam 1 because you only have 1 command slot on bow. But
Correct.
Presumably one of the Mando leader doctrines will have a command slot. You'll be able to slam 2 vigilances in here, and you will be able to retain 7 green tokens on allied units at the end of every round. When you combine that with Mandalorians are stronger together, which is as long as you're at range 2 of somebody else in this clan, when you spend a name, you get a dodge. When you spend a dodge, you get a name. And all of a sudden you can retain 4 dodges and then 3 other aims and or dodges at the end of every turn. It turns out turning Mandalorians are stronger together on is really easy. Super easy. It's like, oh, you shot me? Nice. I get a name token. And I believe the way that this works is, so vigilance obviously only targets 1 dodge token on each unit it selects, right? The Clan Crease effect does not have that restriction. So you can, if you wanted to, hold 3 dodge tokens on 1 unit. So if you have a super mega Clan Crease, like 7-man, super expensive unit, you're like, no, I'm just going to hold on to all these dodge tokens. So at the top of next turn, you can just shoot into my 7 red save health unit that has 3 dodge tokens and maybe another dodge token or 2 from top of turn effects. You want to shoot into something that has 5 dodge tokens. And then once they spends it, gets aim tokens and shoots you back.
No, I don't want to shoot that. Guess what? You have to. So you have to try.
So just painting the picture of what Clan Crease is all about. That's sort of what we're doing here as we kind of move forward, looking at their new stuff.
Yeah. Definitely a very important thing to point out. And as we sort of expected, the Clan Crease thing gives you Mandalorians are stronger together. Yep. Big shocker there.
Nope.
Okay, so on top of that, we've already talked about Clan Crease veterans, but we have a generic Clan Crease command card, which again, you can use this with any Clan Crease commander or operative, which means that Gar and Rebels will have access to this.
Yep.
What does this one do, Mike?
Yeah, so it's a 2-pip. It orders 2 Clan Crease units this round, while an allied Clan Crease unit is within 1 of another allied Clan Crease unit. Those units gain precise 1 and outmaneuver. I think for the most part, you can treat the outmaneuver part as not here. It'll come up, I think, here and there, but
every once in a
while. But the fact of the matter is, you're swimming in aim tokens because all of your good units have tactical, and if you got shot, you got an aim token from it because you probably spent a dodge. So this is just kind of value town. It also does not specify face up ordered units. This is just your army this turn.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Okay. So this is kind of like as long as you have and a lot of times you're gonna have multiple aim tokens because you save them or you picked you tactical charged or whatever. You're gonna be this is kind of reads like your army gets precise 1 this turn, which is very good.
You do have to be range 1 with each other, which is at baseline more limiting than what the Mandos are stronger together requires. So you need to be a little bit more bunched up in order for it to work.
It is.
It's not that.
It's sort of
with multi-model units. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lobby for this, but I do think you can take an initiate super squad to just turn all of the stuff on and just have it winged out so that just Mandalorians are stronger together is on at all times, and then this is also on,
It's a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem like a terrible use of like 95 points or whatever it is.
It's over 100, so it's not.
Oh, really?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. For a Courage 1 unit, it's not great.
Oh, yeah.
With no suppression mitigation.
It's got a dominable, so it's like slightly better.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we have gone over everything except for the big one in the middle. So, and boy, it is a big one, Mike.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan's Darksaber. Well, it's just called the Darksaber. This is the one that she can take. So this unit gains allies of convenience and immune pierce. Cool. And then all allied Mandalorian trooper units gain Mandalorians are stronger together. So, Mike, take it away. What does this mean?
So there's a couple things that I'd like to shout out from the beginning. This is a really good place to just remind people that units that have different affiliations cannot order each other normally.
Yeah.
So if you have multiple affiliation clans in your list, like
buyer beware.
you normally can't, like, you can't use the clan Saxon cards on the other, on the non.
Although Gar himself does have AOC now.
That maybe was a bad example. Like the armor.
Normally the armor cannot be ordering these other people around.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
So having allies of convenience on here is actually kind of like a pretty big deal, particularly because if you are taking this, I think this is actually just like fine to take in a clan crease list generally, and you can ignore the second part here. But giving allied Mandalorian trooper units Mandalorians are stronger together is just like everybody gets the clan crease keyword. There's a couple things that are important here. The first is if you are actually doing a thing where this matters, you have broken the battle force ability. Like you will not be getting a clan bonus, right? So the clan bonuses are
you don't
out
keep
the
the
window.
tokens. Yeah.
Or like, if you're, I think the most common sort of thing will be you are splashing Bo-Katan in another clan to like pick up the Mandalorians are stronger together, right?
Perhaps with Clan Ren as an example.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
That might be good.
Yeah, it might be.
We'll talk about that in reference to a specific command card, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is really strong. Just generally, I think it's worth 10 points, even if
you are running pure clan crease anyway.
Yeah,
and which means the rest of the text actually doesn't mean anything, but you still get the Pierce 1 weapon, which also means that her 1 pip gives her 10 black dice with Pierce 2 on each attack.
I mean, immune Pierce stocks went way up with the nerf to Impervious.
Sometimes nerf.
Sure. But I mean, like if your opponent's got like a big hardy character on the other side of the board, like Vader, Anakin, like you're gonna have wanted the Darksaber on your bow, right? Like otherwise she's just gonna die like Rex does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
granted, it still won't protect you from sniper shots.
No. So.
The ultimate stray. Okay, so let's move on to Axe. We've already talked about Axe and the meaning of the stuff that he gets from the generic cards. So, and then just as a reminder, this will. I feel like the more likely scenario now is that Bo-Katan is going to be she's almost certainly going to be taken as the commander in a Mando battle force, whereas I feel like there's a decent chance that they're going to take Axe as a personnel dude rather than being the operative version. But I mean, coordinate Kreese is actually pretty good. So I'm actually not sure.
So here's the thing. I think there's a lot of the like Mando, specifically the generic Mando cards are like, here dude with face up orders get charge. Here dude with face up orders gets jump. Here dude face up orders get like sweet extra dice. You don't want to put that on Axe. You want to put that on the unit that actually is going to care and like do real damage.
Yeah.
So I think coordinate here is really only good if you've got Caesar HQ uplink.
Okay.
Both are reasonable options, I think.
Yeah, and he can take either one of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be meaningful. All right, Clan Ren. Thanks for putting this reminder text in here, Mike.
Yeah.
That the card you see on the top right is actually 4 guys at 92. Yeah, tell us about the Super Clan Ren Battle Force ability.
Can we just put like a notation above it that says this is why Obi-Wan Kenobi got nerfed?
Oop, taking more strays, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was actually already 12 feet underground, but somehow the blaster bolts made their way to him all over again. But yeah, sorry, Obi-Wan. Life's tough.
So
anyway, go ahead.
In the event that you took all Clan Ren commanders and operatives, you get the sweet bonus of allied Mandalorian trooper units gain a Guardian 1 for Clan Ren affiliation. Units with Guardian X in this army can use the Guardian X keyword on other allied units that have the Guardian X keyword. Commanders and operatives in this army that have the Guardian X keyword can benefit from backup. Wow. Pretty good. So
nobody else with Guardian can benefit from backup.
Yeah, I just want to baseline. The baseline what this effect does practically is your super expensive special forces units, and I guess this is the first one that we haven't talked about before, which is the Clan Kreese vets at 92. Ren.
Yeah.
Once you put this super cool Best God Duelist in them, they cost basically the same as Clan Kreese. So they are also 120 point super expensive monstrosities. But this one, you can like Guardian 4 on it to make sure that it doesn't take damage. Because this gives every unit Guardian 1, and similar to the Ewok Battle Force, like you can stack instances of Guardian from different sources, right? So your cover comes in, you maybe drop 2, then you Guardian, 4 or 5 more from your warriors or your initiates, and then your super expensive special forces are A-okay.
Yeah, and as a reminder, like when you're saying Guardian 4, you're saying Guardian 1 spread amongst multiple units.
You're Guardian in 1 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Which is significantly less good than it was, I guess, a couple weeks ago, because you're going to take like 5
you do have to take suppression tokens
from doing
for
that.
Sure.
The nice
it
thing
will add up.
The nice thing about Clan Ren is they have several different ways to mitigate the suppression. They have given Sabine multiple new ways to drop additional graffiti tokens on the battlefield, which is significantly helpful when it comes to mitigating that. So
yeah. Also, as just another reminder, we haven't even talked about the Best God Duelist. So, reminder: this is now 2 red dice instead of 1.
Yeah.
But it's Pierce 1 melee only. And finally, Mike, after, what are we talking about? Is like 6 years? Because I think these came out or close to like around the beginning of the pandemic. But 6 years later, the Best God Duelist finally provides charge. It took only this long, but it's like the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the TV. It's like they did the thing. So yeah, now you can tap it to have it gain charge until the end of its activation. There's probably only one time per game that you really would have needed it anyway. But I guess it may be relevant that you would have to recover in order to be able to do it twice. But yeah, like a huge upgrade for the Best God Duelist. So yeah, as you said, the baseline 5-person squad is 122 for Clan Ren plus Duelists. But that seems pretty good still.
I think it's better than Kreese for a couple reasons. I
agree.
I think Kreese's is definitely like not bad. Like I am a little sus that 120 is fair for any of these units, to be honest. I'm not convinced of that even after playing some games with them. But this unit also has Dauntless, which is a big deal in getting the charge in,
Also mitigates you're taking suppression tokens factor.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's also got nimble. So once it's spent, like might have it's going to have dodge tokens from, just as a reminder, we fight for our family. When you fire with a Clan Kreese unit, you get to pick another Clan Kreese unit at range 2 and just hand them a dodge token.
Which you can pile on top of vigilance.
Correct.
Which probably would have kept it there anyway.
Yes. Which
they just made cheaper, by the way, in the last update.
Yeah. So you've got cover, you've got like a Guardian X based on how many units are around you. Plus you've got your dodge tokens with nimble. So it's probably pretty hard to do damage to these units. At least at range. I think once they're in melee, obviously, Guardian is not usable because they're not Obi-Wan Kenobi. But however,
luckily for them, they're not Obi-Wan Kenobi. We should say.
I want to talk, Evan, about the most insane command card in this entire update.
Ooh, not where people would have expected it, I don't think. But I clearly agree with you. Mike, go ahead and tell us why.
I would like to talk about the 3-pip We Protect Our Own. It is 3 Clan Kreese units. It requires a Clan Kreese commander or operative to play, which means technically you can play this in Rebels. I wouldn't recommend it, but when a unit is issued and ordered with this card, it gains 1 aim token or 1 dodge token. Wow, that's got to be the end of the effect, right?
No.
This round, when an allied Clan Ren unit spends 1 or more aim tokens or dodge tokens after the effect is resolved, choose another Clan Ren unit within 2. The chosen unit gains 1 token of the same type. So, a couple things here. This you can't take this at face value. There are several other effects that are combining. So you get an aim token from the card. You go with that unit. You fire. You spend the aim token. You give an aim token to a unit at range 2. You then also trigger We Fight for Our Family and give another unit, maybe the same unit, a dodge token. Okay? If you have Bo-Katan and have Mandos stronger together, you also get whatever the opposite of that token is on yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're done. The next unit goes that you just gave an aim token. They do that entire step again. Because the sharing tokens effect of this card does not require face-up orders. Only the we get a token at the beginning of the turn does. This gives your entire army up close and personal 2. Plus, maybe if you have Bo-Katan, you get an extra token on top of it. This card is insane. It is gonna be somewhere in the realm of you get I think 10 you get 3 tokens baseline from the card. You're gonna have at least, let's say things go really bad and you only can shoot with 1 unit, baseline you're gonna get 5 tokens just for shooting with 1 unit. If you shoot with half your army, we're talking in the 13 to 18 range, and you're definitely above 20 if you shoot with everybody. This is an insane card.
Do you remember how getting up to 4 surge tokens per round was considered to be too much?
I do, Evan, and this is wild.
Adding a couple more strays to the entirety of Republic and CIS. Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
This is definitely a hot take, I think, from this could end up being colder than that, I think, but
sure.
I would like to call shot this card getting nerfed in some capacity in the future.
It feels like maybe is this sort of the most massive vomitorium of tokens when it comes to benefiting multiple units? I get that you can have cards like Hello There or whatever that pile a billion on, but
original coordinated fire was the stupidest.
Oh yeah, that's way back in the day. Nobody's gonna remember that one.
I remember it, Evan. I remember when I had 1,000 aim tokens.
So stupid. Yeah, But aside from that one, which got nerfed actually pretty quickly, if I remember right.
Yes, yeah.
Then yeah, I do think that this feels like the biggest just like token dump out there.
I just like, I don't know. You can make multiple units like basically immune for the entire turn. Like if you have units with situational awareness in this list, like you might just actually, it might be impossible to deal them damage without like high velocity.
This is one of those cards where I'm like, I can picture it like it's literally right in front of my eyes. Is that you on one side you have like a 10-year-old child who's new to the game, and he or she is excited about playing the first game of Legion. And on the other side, I'm just gonna take a person at random, Brian Bear, who is like, he's grinning ear to ear as he puts this command card down. And then as he's viciously murdering the child's units, is that he's just like sort of tossing tokens in the air. He's like, it doesn't matter where they fall. They're just gonna go wherever. And I get
everybody's got 4 dodge tokens
ones.
anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, are you having fun? Are you having fun with Star Wars Legion? I do think this is going to be one of those like Jedi Arts like effects, to where new players are just going to be sort of like getting into a fetal position and going like
what is
they have so
happening
many
to
aims, and I can't do any damage to them because they have dodges everywhere and they have nimble. Oh my god. Man,
yeah,
I'm excited to see what happens. Anything else you have to say about these Clan Ren cards before we move on to talking about some of the peeps?
No, I specifically think Bo-Katan and the interaction with this card is a reason to splash. It's like one of the reasons to splash Bo in like a different faction, you know.
It's like the secret 6 faction is Bo-Katan plus Clan Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a suspicion that's going to be really, 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 really good. So.
I think so. I agree. Okay, Clan Ren characters. So I think that we actually had seen Ursa before. We hadn't covered her on the cast, so we'll go over her in detail. So Ursa Ren, she is the leader of Clan Ren, and she has 75 points. Is available as a rebel mercenary, which is interesting in its own right. She has action bolster 2, action jump 2, entourage Clan Ren veterans, impervious, inspire 1, nimble, we fight for a family. Has just a melee to 2 red, 2 black with no other keywords, and then she's courage 2, health 5. She surges to hit, surges to block, and then she does have a command card. One command card, same as Mace Windu, for a character that most people wouldn't be able to pick out of a lineup. It can order generically one Clan Ren commander or operative, which is sort of handy. It's called No One Threatens Our Family. It is a 1-pip. Allied Clan Ren commander or operative units, so that's all of them, gain Guardian 1 : Clan Ren until the end of the round. So there can be some extra guardianing, or like guardianing at all if you haven't activated the Clan Ren Battle Force ability. Additionally, when an allied Clan Ren unit uses Guardian X after the effect is resolved, choose an allied Clan Ren unit within range 1 of that unit. That chosen unit gains 1 aim token. So, like, if you're guardianing, then you get to toss out aim tokens. There's no limit on this, as far as I can tell, Mike.
Correct. Again, another reason to splash Bo, so that you can take because you're also probably going to get, dodge tokens from We Fight for with your family. So you can just like continue to turn aim tokens and dodge tokens, like a revolving door.
It's like the round after the 3-pip, Brian is going, now I'm going to play this card. Aims.
Well, in this, because you've broken your Battle Force ability, still allows you to have access to Guardian.
Yeah, that's great. So handy.
Yes. Also,
seems pretty good.
For the sweet, sweet cost of Leia Organa, you can have Ursa Ren,
Oh, another straight for Leia. At least they have the same courage value.
Their profiles
the top
are
heroine
totally
of the entire
same,
fiction,
right?
and Ursa Ren.
totally
had
the
the
same.
same courage value. They're the same.
Yep.
And Leia also, she has bolster and jump and entourage and
Speed 3 and impervious
speed
and
3.
red searching red saves. Yeah. Throws. Yeah, I don't know, man.
more strays of Leia. I don't know either.
To be fair, I don't think Ursa is too cheap. I think it's fine.
No, I think she's fine. I think our complaining is about Leia.
I do think the best thing about Ursa, though, is that she allows you to take a 4th special forces, just to be like serious and real for a second. You know, and she gives you an extra face up every turn. Order control seems to be pretty hard to come by in these battle forces generally. So getting a free face up is pretty big, and also just being able to take a 4th like super elite unit is specifically when you can like keep them alive like really heartily in this. Seems excellent, frankly.
And you know, she's
one thing that a lot of people have called out that I've heard people saying, but I don't actually think is how this works, is I've heard people saying that Entourage like allows you to take like a 3rd Clan Red veteran in Rebels. I don't think that's actually how that works at all. I don't think Entourage allows you to break the mercenary rules, just so we're like real clear.
Yeah, I don't think it does either.
It would allow you to take like Sleeper Cell, Clan Run veterans, and then Clan Run veterans if you also had like Allies of Convenience in the list, I think, in theory. But I don't think it would allow you to take 3 Clan Run vets. That might be like a forum ruling later on. I mean, it'd probably be good to just have some clarification. But I've seen a bunch of people being like, oh, I can play 3 Clan Run vets and basically like run Rebel Mandos like they used to be. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like taking a peek at the text for Entourage. It allows you to disobey maximum rank requirements, but it doesn't allow you to disobey the part of the mercenary, like part of the rule book, where it talks about like having a baseline limitation of that number. That's not a rank requirement. That's like a mercenary thing. So I believe that you're right that it would not work. So let's continue. We have a couple of personnel upgrades that we had not seen before. We have Sabine, who, interestingly, neither of these have their own weapon, which I think is kind of funny in its own right. But Sabine, you know, she adds her miniature and then takes on the same weapons as whatever she's added onto. And then free action, if there's no allied graffiti tokens on the battlefield, place 1 allied graffiti token within range 1 and line of sight of this unit, touching a piece of non-area terrain. Mike, can you please remind me what graffiti tokens do?
Yes. So if you are an allied unit of the graffiti token, and within, I believe, it might be range 1, it might be range 2, I'd have to look it up, you roll an extra white die during your rally step. If you are an enemy unit to the graffiti token and you're at the same range, you roll 1 less die during your rally step. So fewer, whatever. Screw you, Evan.
It is range 2.
Yeah.
It is range 2.
A couple notable things about graffiti tokens: you have to put them touching a piece of non-area terrain, and you have to lay them flat on the battlefield. The range is drawn from the graffiti token, not the terrain piece. So it's not like a token that denotes a terrain piece. It is like the physical location of the token is highly relevant.
Good reminders to have, because in today's mercenary heavy rebel environment, nobody was taking Sabine's 2-pip anywhere. So probably a good reminder of what graffiti tokens do, because now they'll actually be relevant again for the first time in a while. So yeah, that one is interesting. And then we got Tristan Wren, who Mike, I'm going to admit my own story ignorance here, but did he like do some kind of betrayal move at some point in the story? Is that why he can go into Saxon or Ren?
There's like a civil war that takes place between Ren and Saxon. I'm pretty sure Tristan like switches sides, and that's the whole like we're family thing is like kind of rooted in. I'm pretty sure is like, how could you betray your family and do this terrible thing because we fight for our family? You know, I think those are maybe direct quotes.
Got it.
You know, and yeah, I think it was Rebels where that happened.
So what he does is that it means that this unit can be issued orders regardless of affiliation. And then the unit gains precise 2. It seems kind of underwhelming for an effect, unless there's some kind of interaction that I'm missing out on, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, you're missing out on the interaction that there are multiple cards that just like hand out copious aim tokens to Clan Red units.
Yeah, but like, I guess
that's it. I mean, that's
it.
That's
but
it.
but when would that matter that he's like, I don't know, getting the order from some other commander?
Well, when you're
That's not Clan
splashing
Ren.
Bo-Katan in your Clan Ren list so that you're getting extra orders from everything, you could.
But she is out of convenience in that scenario anyway.
That's
so
fair.
That
Yeah,
wouldn't matter.
I mean, I think the answer is there's a low amount of times this matters. Generally.
I think so. Which means that this personnel upgrade is probably not going to be taken all that often. But hey, at least
to be clear, I think the reason to take it is precise 2, and I think it's actually like so.
Oh, you think that's good?
Well, a couple of things
for 25 points and a model.
Well, bear in mind that these 2 upgrades are the only way to get the Clan Ren veterans to 6 models.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
And so you can take the best god duelist, and if you want to have 12 dice when you attack, you got to take one of these 2 models. And if you are like kind of like not super high on the graffiti token, like Tristan's way better. Like,
yeah, that is also fair. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's sort of like an extra guy plus for those, and 25 is not a ton of points. So yeah, I could see it.
For the price per model you're paying for these units, like 25 is like pretty close to like what the like extra guy
what
cost.
they would cost. Yeah, for sure. But you know, who knows? Maybe Tristan will also get a cool operative version of him. Oh, wait. He's been expunged mostly from the game except for that personnel upgrade. So a free stray for Tristan Ren. That the operative choice for Clan Ren is actually Sabine all over again, which was a surprise to me. So this is actually technically a brand new unit because, as a reminder, this is different from the Rebel version. The Rebel version is not a mercenary, and neither is this one. Like, this one is only going to be working for the Mandalorian battle force, so is not going to be splashed around at all. She, like the other version, she has jump 2, she has impervious, she is nimble. She also does, of course, have we fight for a family.
You missed the important one.
Wait, what's the important one?
Gunslinger.
Oh, did I not say that? Yeah. No. So yeah, she is gunslinger, just like the other one does. But this time the gun is different. Instead of being Symbol Rainbow with Pierce 1, melee to 2, this is melee to 2, 2 red, 2 black. No Pierce, but it does have Blast and Overwhelm. And then the rest of her stats are the same as the regular Sabine is, movement, health, courage, et cetera, et cetera. And the other thing that we should cover here is that this one, like, as a reminder, she has access to the same version of the Darksaber that the Rebel one has.
Which is 5 points, not 15.
5 points, not 15, exactly. Good reminder there. And then, Mike, she has a new command card that is exclusive to the Mandalorian Battle Force version of Sabine Wren. What does it do?
Yes, make the impossible possible. 2-pip. Sabine Wren in 1 Clan Wren unit. Sabine Wren has Steady this round.
Steady.
This round, Sabine Wren gains the following free action. Free action, place 1 allied graffiti token within range 1 and in line of sight of Sabine Wren, touching a piece of non-area terrain. Yeah, this card's great.
Good.
I think this Sabine for 5 points more than old Sabine. And to be clear, she can still take all of her old sweet command cards. Nothing has been errated to say she cannot, which means this Sabine also has access to explosions, which is probably the one that is relevant. I'm not sure Symbol of Rebellion or Legacy of Mandalore are good enough in like to take over the like generic Mandos or the other Clan Ren specific cards. But like, I don't know. I mean, she fires 4 red, 4 black when she attacks, and you can give her Steady on the way in.
Yeah, so I think that this is obviously like she can only go in Mando Battle Force, but I think it's a pretty good prediction to say that they'll be, if she's in the list, then you will be taking this and Explosions. Probably Legacy of Mandalore also.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
maybe. Oh, actually, you're gonna take the Clan Ren 3-pip and and the Mando
and the
3-pip.
charge you won. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, never mind. But you probably will take those two, because like this gives you a command to use on the approach. Is that you do a speed 3 move, you do 2 gunslinger shots, maybe toss some extra suppression in there, why not? And they have blast, and then after that you bury her in melee, inside the enemy mob, and then she's going to be doing explosions right after that. And
make the impossible
seems pretty good.
Make the impossible possible into the 3-pip charge into explosions. Seems like a really good sequence.
It seems really good. This she seems very good. And I'm not even sure what else to say about it. She's going to synergize with the other stuff that Clan Ren does really well.
I think she might be the best new character. I'm going to put new in air quotes. I'm not counting Din because I think Din is still effectively the same character for all intents and purposes. But this Sabine is actually like,
she's really good.
Yeah.
And it's probably between her and Bo-Katan, right?
I was really unimpressed with Bo today, I'm going to be honest.
Even with the Darksaber thing, like, it enables some hijinks.
I think I was playing her in straight Kryze, so it's possible that outside Kryze is where she lives, like works best. But I wasn't feeling it. Should be just said out loud that this Sabine Wren has a better dice pool than Mace Windu with Vapod Mastery Online. Anyways,
yet another stray as he continues to fall towards Coruscant's floor. Let's move on. Clan Saxon. So this is the one where we finally get to quit worrying about hanging out together, working together, staying close to each other. This one, they're just doing stuff. So in Clan Saxon, when you have all the operatives and commanders of the Clan Saxon variety, when an allied unit defeats an enemy unit, after the effect is resolved, the allied unit may make a recover action or may make a speed 1 move. So that's pretty cool. Like, it's not going to happen a ton of times. Like, it can literally, but I was going to say it can't happen a ton of times per game, but like, I don't know, in your average game, how many units are you actually killing?
So
I guess it would.
Let me paint you a picture really quick.
Sure, go ahead, Mike.
So, you have a 6-man super commando unit. That throws a lot of dice.
Yeah.
Probably has a couple of aim tokens. Like dropping the hammer on moving out, shooting, killing a unit, and then like speed 1ing just from the battle force effect to like stay safe is like pretty good. You can also like with the 3-pip like move, charge, kill a unit, and then move into melee with another unit. Like, and I think it's not like you can select your targets in such a way that I think it's like pretty reasonable that you can trigger this effect. I think
that's fair.
They're very killy. Like the special forces for all 3 of the clans that we've talked about, other than Covert, because they obviously don't have one.
They can throw a lot of dice.
They can throw a lot of dice, and it is like it is. It doesn't really matter what you are. You could just die.
Yeah. If you throw enough dice that are surging for all 3 of these special forces, by the way.
They're surging, and they often have like at least 1, maybe like 3 aim tokens with maybe precise backup. Yeah. It it is not uncommon to hit above 10 with these units, as long as they're full health. So I do think, I don't know. I think that this could be good. It is a little bit more of a win more effect for sure.
Yeah. And as a reminder, the victory or death is the opposite is that for getting killed, you're getting bonuses. And so it's sort of like no matter what you're doing, you're getting bonuses if you're playing Clan Saxon. And then the Clan Saxon clan upgrade, aside from changing the affiliation of Clan Saxon, it provides victory or death, as you would expect.
Yep.
Mike, tell us about the Clan Saxon commander/operative command card.
Death before defeat. 3-pip. 3 Saxon units. When a unit is issued an order with this card, it gains an aim token or 1 surge token, which is probably pretty good for warriors. This round, when an allied Clan Saxon unit makes a melee attack, the attack pool gains Ram 1.
Also probably good for warriors.
Yeah, again, kind of triggering like charge effects and stuff. Or just like getting in there. Again, this one, this is battle force locked because you can't actually take the commander or the operative outside of the battle force. But
you can take commander, like the Clan Saxon version of Gar Saxon. You can take him in Shadow Collective now, technically, because the Shadow Collective document only lists Gar Saxon in terms of the units allowed in the commander slot, which means that
I don't think that's true because he's not a mercenary.
He's not a mercenary. You're right.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Live correction.
Live correction for Evan Paul, as usual. You're right, is that it is functionally battle force only because they're not mercenary friendly.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Super Commandos. Yeah, this was the surprise for me, I guess, was twofold a little bit, because I did think that what they were going to do was just like figure out a way to get rid of the old version of the Shadow Collective, Gar Saxon, and Super Commandos, and that they were going to, I also thought that they were going to give these guys mercenary for CIS and Empire. I
definitely thought that was a possibility, but once we saw the boxes and they didn't, I felt pretty confident.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. These guys, like even more so than Coverts, like we just talked about a second ago, is that they are Clan Saxon ride or dies, and that's it. But they're pretty good. So these Super Commandos, like the other version, are base 4. And I think that aside from adding victory or death, the keyword situation is the same.
Yep.
They're 92 points. Is that also the same?
I would have to double check that. I don't think that's true, because the Shadow Collective Mandos are still base 3 guys.
Oh yeah, you're right. And they have to add in the extra AS. So they're base 66.
Yeah.
So it's actually, if you took the generic Super Commando in there to sort of pseudo make it 4 guys, then it's 90.
Yeah.
And that's the high limit for those. Whereas these, we don't have the slots in here, but I assume they have heavy on personnel, right?
They do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So these can also get up to 6, just like the other special forces can. Also, a difference between them and the Shadow Collective Super Commandos is that these natively surge to hit.
Man, it's crazy how when you just get to like essentially share surge tokens for free because you surge both ways, it's just it seems good.
Yeah, why not?
It's like you have infinite surge tokens.
Yeah, although
that's interesting.
Doesn't this make it kind of weird that the command card provides surge tokens?
No, because the warriors do not surge.
Oh, the warriors, right? That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Man, God, that is really good. But yeah, otherwise, they have at range 3, which would be the only range where you'd use this. They have the blaster rifles. That is 1 black die. Whereas at range 2, this is also different from the Shadow Collective Super Commandos, sort of. It is different. These guys shoot 1 white, 1 red in melee to 2. The other ones shoot 2 black melee to 2, and they're not surging again.
Yep.
But yeah, nice big dice pools. I think that the way that this stands out, Mike, is that these have a native range 3 option where the other special forces do not, right?
No, they all do.
Do they all?
Yes.
Oh,
The
okay,
weapon
man, I
profile
wasn't
on
paying attention.
all of these special forces is the same.
Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
that's cool.
I would say that the thing that I think is notable here is that unlike the other two special forces variants, this is the only one that actually generates a green token at the top of every round, no matter what.
Yeah.
Which is relevant if you're splashing Bo-Katan.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Super Commandos plus Mandos stronger together could be a nice combo because yeah, tokens are happening.
Yep.
Either a dodge or a name. It is happening. Otherwise, the heavy upgrades pictured here, these are the two like was these are the two that are also allowed in the Shadow Collector version, right? Like these are the same.
I wanted to say that they had a melee one, or I think there's three, or there used to be three in the Shadow Collective one. There was. I'm not positive
Oh yeah,
on
there.
that.
Yeah, I do think that there used to be three. There was like, um, Gunslinger, Marksman, and Super Commando, and then there's Rookcast.
Yeah, I think one of them
But
might have been basically like a generic dude, essentially.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So decent number of options that are like. I guess this is another sort of difference between these guys and Kreese and Ren is that they are able to take like multiple heavy, like more heavy options, right? Because the other ones are sort of limited in terms of what their actual heavy can be.
Yeah, they only have the other factions have the three generic heavies.
Yeah. So you get a few more choices to choose from, like very like sort of slot whatever you want to in there.
And it's funny. The Super Commando Marksman is like I think significantly better than the sniper rifle, just because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper, yeah.
And it's like it's basically the same. Other than that,
it's one less range,
but
and that one is red black.
Yeah.
But it is cheaper.
You're never firing the like
You're
range
never firing
4
range
thing
4.
unless
Yeah,
you
no,
have
don't even worry
rockets
about
too,
it.
and even then, it's like I don't know.
Yeah, that is pretty expensive when you add it all in there. All right, we're back. Those of you who are very observant on YouTube will have noticed that Mike and I have both changed clothes. That is because we had to split this up because there's just like too much Mandalorians to go around. So
He
don't
couldn't
worry.
do a 4 hour one go
Yeah,
episode
sorry.
this
I'm
time,
sorry.
you
But hey, we're back, and let's just keep rolling with Clan Saxon the characters. So,
know?
mentioned earlier that I was fairly surprised that they. I know you weren't, Mike, but that they did sort of like a totally different version of Gar Saxon. It's not totally different. He's partway different. How like go over this guy, Mike. What's going on with Gar Saxon?
I mean, he's got all the jump to impervious. He's got victory or death. I think the big things here are advanced targeting. Trooper 1.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty big. He's still got compel, which is I
very
think
important.
Going to be very foundationally important.
Yeah.
I think marksman. He didn't have that before, right?
He did not.
And he's gotten a bit of a, I would say, glow up, I guess, with having the sniper rifle on his card, and it's like significantly better than it was.
It's also lethal 2 instead of lethal 1 now.
So,
and it's also single rainbow before, I believe.
Lethal 2 is like you have to spend 2 aims.
2 aims to get Pierce 2. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. That
might be kind of tight. He does get one for free. If he's shooting at a trooper.
Yes, if he's shooting at a trooper, I guess that's okay. And I guess like the pool is 2 red and a black, so.
Yeah, and then his 3-pip gives an aim out. He gets 2 aims with his 1-pip, and so
I guess that's
there's
fair.
different
With
ways
his
to get it done.
Cards, I guess it's a little bit more reasonable. But if you're not triggering his command cards, like you got to be playing his command cards to use the rifle, I think.
Probably it's at the very least like it's still a high velocity. It's base range 5 out. Also, I think the old one might have been long shot, like range 4 long shot.
I think it was Yeah, it was definitely base 4.
Yeah,
I think it was 3 to 4, and this one doesn't really have like a minimum range
there's no
band, which
minimum
is also a
range.
big deal. Um,
The minor trade-off is that his close-up gun no longer has natural pierce. They sort of did the thing with him that they did for pretty much everybody except for Sabine. Funny enough, with their pistols to like make them decent and melee to 2, but not like incredible.
yeah,
Um,
it's okay.
yeah, but yeah, like he has his sniper rifle is range 1 to 5, so it's like fine. Uh, yeah, and then he's
115 points, maybe what a sniper should cost. I don't know.
not 40. What are you talking about? Um, and then what's this, Michael, over here? This weapon. This
Dark
surprised
saber.
me. Yeah.
So I don't. So this makes it so that all the Mando clans have a darksaber option, right? You've got Din and Covert, you got Bo and Kryze, Sabine and Ren, and you've got Gar Saxon here.
It's getting passed around like a hot potato.
Notably, this one says head of clan Saxon only, and before people get like, whoa, why doesn't it say Gar Saxon? This is so that he can't take it in the Shadow Collective Battle Force.
Right.
It also opens the door for other peoples to be like subtitled head of clan Saxon in the same way that like the new Jedi characters are all Jedi Council.
Yeah.
So in theory, like, I don't really think that there's like another head of clan Saxon that I can from the media. I think but anyways, it gives them charge. Charges obviously a big one. That's pretty good. Demoralize 2, just in case you want to be doing like super tack shenanigans.
Yeah.
But there's a drawback on this one, and that's that you cannot take clan Ren units.
Because
in
they
your
don't like
army.
each other.
Yeah, I think specifically when he has the darksaber, right? That's like,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he
That was
steals the darksaber
sort
from
of
them and
like
the rebels
the
or something.
foundational plot point of those episodes, some
Yeah.
might say. Yeah.
So good, I think, narrative, thematic, like, d- tie in there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. That is cool. I guess it's a good question of, Bo-Katan and maybe Din and maybe Sabine would be the characters that I would most think of as being like splashy. So I guess like it would limit you from taking Sabine in that circumstance.
I don't
But
know.
I still
I
think
do
it's
think
mostly Bo-Katan.
Sabine is like the.
She's the best individual character. Like,
I think so.
I think so, and so yeah.
And
victory or death, or giving up the ability of like getting the thing from unit kills is like, I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad. It might be worth like doing some splashy stuff, but
yeah, I mean, I think at the end of
theme.
this, we can maybe talk about if we think the clan abilities are good or not.
I think one of them is certainly good,
or worth building to. I guess.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. And then before we actually go over this command card, let's go over Rookcast.
Yep.
So Rookcast has a new unit card. She used to only be the +1 in Super Commandos that had Retinue Maul, which has now changed, interestingly. So she has jumped to coordinate to Clan Saxon, Impervious, of course, Retinue to Clan Saxon Commander, Target 1, Victory or Death, and then she has basically the 2 red, 2 black with Overwhelm. She serves to crit. And I guess I should correct myself, is that her old Super Commando heavy would still exist with like the same text as before with Retinue Maul. So I guess that's not changed. But she does have a new personnel card that would be for the Mandalorian version of Rookcast. Is like starting to get very confusing, but that only basically gives that unit Retinue Clan Saxon Commander. And let's go ahead and scooch back a second to say that she has a 2-pip. Why don't you tell us what this one is, Mike, and tell us what you think of it.
Yeah, it's Vengeful Strike. 2-pip, Rook cast in 1 unit, 1
Clan
Clan
Saxon.
Saxon unit.
Yeah.
At the start of the next activation phase, choose another allied Saxon unit within 2 of Rook cast, if able. Rook cast and the chosen unit each gain 1 standby token. This round, when Rook cast or the chosen unit spends or removes 1 standby token, they gain 1 aim and 1 dodge token.
Deploy the garrison, taking strays. Pew pew.
I mean,
This
the thing
is
is,
like
like,
slightly better than that. Although you
so
can't give it to Darth Vader.
I think I'm not sure that's true.
Mm,
I mean, I Deploy the Garrison is, like, honestly not very good anymore.
it's fair.
Like, it's just like,
This is because standbys aren't very good anymore.
yes, I think, but I think if you treated this card, like, if this card said, when the first time a unit within range 2 of Rook cast and another unit with a face-up order activates, gain a name or a dodge token and a dodge token. Like, if you think about this card like that, like, it's like fine.
Yeah. It's okay. It's like, I guess if you have a super commando buried in melee, I'm just like a big super commando unit with all the fixins, and they're, they have like a gunslinger in there, and they're already wrapped up in melee, then that's like a thing, because if they withdraw, they can shoot. If they do anything else, then they can attack.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, like, a lot of ways to, like, knock standbys off in melee now too. So
Yeah,
it's just
slice
like there's a
comms.
lot of slice comms,
Yeah,
demoralizes in a
mind
lot of
trick.
different places.
Yeah.
So I think the standby clause here is, like, whatever, but you still get the effect even if you don't spend the standby. If it's removed via suppression or whatever, you still get the tokens.
That's fair. That's fair.
So,
So it gives you some extra tokens.
yeah.
It's probably in the zone of, you might as well play it.
I think if you're
you have Rookcast in
playing
there.
if you're playing straight Clan Saxon, I think the answer is, do you want Gar's 2-pip or do you want Rook's 2-pip? Because you're definitely taking the Mando Clan 2-pip.
Right, you're taking
free
that
jumps.
one. They both just kind of give out tokens. Gars gives out 3 orders. That's kind of nice.
Yes, and I think it also, like, gives all the special forces outmaneuver that turn.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess if you're, like, playing Rook but not playing Gar, maybe this is okay.
Oh, but actually, Gars has the limitation that it's a weird one where he can only issue at range 1.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they take the Rookcast one because Gars is kind of tough for that reason. So what a weird stipulation to have for that. Oh well. Also, we can cover that there is a Gar Saxon personnel. It has the range 1 to 5 high velocity lethal 1 single rainbow sniper rifle, and also this unit gains compel. That is quite nice for whatever are the situations where you wouldn't have Gar Saxon himself in your army for whatever reason, when you're wanting to run it in the unit instead. I guess, like, and by the way, this comes in at a mean 45 points, which is quite hefty. I mean, like, it has a good weapon and it has compel, so I guess I can kind of see it. What do you think, Mike? Is this like a splash thing?
I think it would be if it didn't have the restriction of, like, you had to take a Saxon operative or commander in your army in order to enable you to put this in a squad. Is how I feel about it.
As of right now, yes. Well, yeah. So this is like the sort of thing that if you were running pure Clan Saxon, you would need the customizable in order to actually make it work.
Yeah, I mean, well, not only that, but, like, in order to, like, even if you wanted to splash it, like, you're playing Clan Ren and you want compel, you still have to take a Saxon character in order to put this in a squad to enable your compel, right? So
yeah,
I don't know. I think that, so Gar already has compel on his unit card. I think that normally this card at 45 points would have been like fine, but I think because of the insane restrictions on the ability to put this in your list, I actually think it could have been much, maybe not like, I think it could have been like 30 and probably fine, because like
Yeah.
in order to get it into a list, you're like, I have to take 100-point character,
Yeah.
plus I have to take like a 70 to a 100-point unit to put this upgrade on, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's just like a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yeah. I get the feeling that some of these more expensive ones were made more expensive to make the splashing a little bit more difficult, and then that was sort of the idea with the covert ability to make them cheaper. But yeah, we'll see. Like, I don't know. There's so many permutations that could come out of this Mandalorian Battle Force business that probably have not been explored yet. That,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I've built a bunch of lists, and all of them, I'm like, man, I really wish I had Compel in here. And then I go to like try and fit it in, and I'm like, ugh, like this is really hard.
it's almost like there is a piece of this that is actually kind of it's almost certainly going to be very important to like how the Mandalorian battle forces function. And we've been sort of dancing around it, but we do want to go ahead and reveal what we got for the customizable Mandalorian commander and operative, which is, of course, they're not appearing in this film. We have no idea what the custom Mando leaders or operatives do. We know what their like unit cards are without their doctrines or any other weapons, which is basically meaningless.
I mean,
And yeah, like I don't know, Mike. Okay, before we talk about sort of like the implications of that, let's be a little bit less cute, and we can go over the custom Mandalorian battle force, which is completely illegal to play at the moment because of the fact that you need to have, at least if you're going to be getting these like extra perks as a part of your army, you need to have all Mythosaur, generic Mando branded dudes in your commander and operative slot, which is something that is literally impossible at this point because
yes.
those units are not out. But in the future, well, those will be out at some point. I think we were looking at August.
Yeah, I mean, I originally when I pre-ordered it, it said the dates were the same as the rest of the stuff, but it doesn't appear that way anymore. So I guess that's we'll call it as we see
Yeah,
it. I think
fingers
as
crossed
as
that
it
it is
comes.
actually sooner than that.
Yeah.
But so basically, if you do the double generic, we'll just call it the customizable battle force, that you get to choose two out of 5 bonuses like to your army. And so we'll just go through them one by one. The first one's called Veterans, which is that the Galar 15 is free if it's on a Mandalorian warrior, which I guess is the only ones that can equip it anyway. But yeah, so like it's you subtract the cost of the upgrade by 5 points. It is a 5-point upgrade, so that makes it free. And then additionally, during the setup, you may choose to allied Mythosaur units, customizable units. They gain Dauntless. Next one, Tools of the Trade. You may include one additional copy each of the flamethrower, jetpack rockets, and whipcord launcher, which means you could have a total of 3 of each of those. These additional copies do not cost points and may be equipped by any Mandalorian trooper unit, ignoring restrictions. Each unit may still only ever be equipped with 1 copy of the upgrade card, so you don't ignore that restriction. You just ignore all the other ones. Rapid deployment. This one will be familiar to some old school peeps. During setup, you may set aside up to 2 allied customizable Mando units that are not holding an asset objective token, marking the set aside units with advantage tokens the first time each set aside unit would be chosen to activate this game. You may deploy it. You may deploy it by putting that unit's unit leader onto the battlefield, not within range 2 of all enemy units, if able, and then put the rest of this unit in cohesion. If you do, the unit is treated as activated and its order token is placed face down, then the unit loses its advantage token. So it is the old rapid reinforcements, or at least extremely similar to it if it's not exactly the same.
It's just optional is the main thing.
It's optional. That's a good point. That's a good point. Guns for hire. You may include a AA5 speeder truck, Gav, surprisingly, or Wheelo speeder tank in your army. These units change their affiliation to customizable Mando and gain coordinate Mandalorian warriors and independent Surge 1. The last one, Feats of Valor. When an allied unit in this army defeats an enemy unit after the effect is resolved, the unit gains 1 Valor token. And basically, it's sort of like XP points within your game. So 1 Valor token gives you Dauntless. 2 gives you an aim, dodge, or surge at the start of each activation. So it's sort of like reliable, accept whatever you want. And then if you have 3, then you get an exemplar, and the bonuses are cumulative. So you're sort of leveling up old school Anakin style as you defeat units throughout the game. And that is something that applies to all units. So basically, like, all of your units are sort of like gaining XP and leveling up as the game goes on, so to speak, in minor but somewhat meaningful ways. So, looking at all these, Mike, what are the ones that sort of strike you as being very clear choices, and what are the ones that you're probably going to leave behind?
So I think let's contextualize this a little bit to start.
Sure.
So if you're playing custom Mandos, you obviously have the generic leader and the operative, but you also only have the initiates and the warriors. You do not have a special forces option because all of them are clan branded. So you literally just have like core and support plus your characters.
Right.
I think we can both agree, I think, at this point, that the special forces are like one of the main reasons to play Mandos.
They're the ones that give you the big pools. You can get pretty big ones from the warriors, but
they're like the hammers. They're going to do a lot of the killing, and at least the clan branded lists are the ones that are narratively affiliated. So I just wanted to like say that out loud before we talk about like, okay, so what perks should we take as a custom Mando to like really put some
also without knowing the doctrines is just like it's almost not worth talking about. I guess maybe the ones that sort of strike you. We'll come back to that.
So I think guns for hire is actually like pretty important because I think you're gonna need like something specifically when it comes to like the Wheelo or the Gav tank. All of these options have transport, which is a big deal. Getting your warriors closer is pretty good. And I think in the case of what I would say is probably the Wheelo, although it is my understanding that Reckless Gunner does not work here. Although I could be wrong about that. We would have to look that up. But I believe
I can effort that while we're talking.
Again, I'm not sure about that, but I think you just like you need a little bit of a piece that is a hammer piece because you're probably lacking that unless you're like on 4 custom characters, which could be a thing, but so guns for hire I think is good. I think tools of the trade is really interesting. I have a hard time seeing myself wanting like 3 copies of Whipcord or Jetpack, but I could definitely see taking 3 flamers, that sounds great. So I'm on board there. I think the Galar 15 carbine rifle upgrade thing is like nice, giving a couple of units Dauntless, it's like an okay upgrade. I'm not like over the moon about it. The rapid deployment thing I think is probably that effect has traditionally not been very great or very good,
especially when you're typically going to be out activated with these lists.
I think I don't know, I could be wrong about that, but traditionally, Tempest Force also has a very similar setup effect that often just like
that
doesn't get used at all.
Exactly.
So I think rapid deployment is almost the worst. but I think feats of valor you should basically never pick. I think it is actually, I think it's like a cool, like maybe you're doing like tours of duty, and like that's like a cool thing that is like thematically and narratively, you know, feels like it reminds me of like a Space Wolves ability where like raw,
Yeah.
for Valhalla,
You're collecting heads.
yeah, but again, it's a little bit more of like a Winmore thing where like if you have a single unit that has killed multiple enemy units, like that
You're already
unit is,
winning the game.
well, that, but you're also like that unit probably has taken some damage.
And
So
it's taking some damage,
like having, that's not like where you would want to stack the effects anyways. And you kind of want the bonuses before you get to the damage dealing step the first time.
Right, because like these things only matter on the round after you get the kill, and then every subsequent round after that.
Like,
and so, like, in the best case scenario, like really, like you're getting your first Dauntless guy in round 3,
yes.
and then if they keep on trucking, then you're gonna like get the extra aim and dodge on round 4, and then they really keep on trucking, and then start of round 5 they get Exemplar, but then all of your opponents are dead, and you're like, well, doesn't seem like it was really worth it.
Yeah.
When win more, it comes at the expense of effects that actually would have helped you win faster. It's not actually win more, it's win less.
If you could like reliably guarantee like multiple turn 1 kills with units, I think maybe that changes the game, but that's just like pretty difficult to do without out activating your opponent and having like ways to really reach out and deal significant damage. And while the generic Mandalorian command cards are like pretty good at dealing damage, what they're not good at is like doing it early. Like if you could play the Din card and give units infiltrate on turn 1, and then like proceed to move and attack, I think the conversation might be different, but that's not an effect that this battle force, at least presently, has access to. But again, like who knows, maybe some of the Mando doctrines are like the Rebel doctrines, which is like this unit gets infiltrate and also give this unit an infiltrate too,
exactly.
like so
all Mandalorian warriors get steady. Why not?
Yes. This is the way, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things up in the air about the custom Mando battle force. Even like characters aside, it's not really clear if there's going to be like a custom Mando like keyword upgrade. We've seen the Champion of the Watch upgrade card, which is definitely just for the generics, which gives the generic "This is the way" and the affiliation for the that clan. So they're gonna have that upgrade, and so is there like a Mythosaur clan that's like maybe you can like pick a keyword you want or something? Like they probably won't. If there is, it probably won't be one of the narrative keywords. It'll probably be like, I don't know, this unit is nimble, or I could see that maybe being a thing.
I could see them putting that in the doctrine slot of the commander.
I could
customizable
also see that too,
to basically sort of give to make the commander like a little bit more meaningful than the Rebel and Imperial generics are. Certainly more meaningful than the customizable Jedi. But that to sort of like bestow a choice of like 4 clan abilities on the whole army. And then that sort of enhances, but only have that be doable for like if you don't have another clan affiliation. So basically only for the Mythosaur thing. So interesting. And then we have a slide here where we're pointing out that this was Mike's idea. Yet another stray for the Galactic Republic. Why don't you tell us what we're looking at here?
Yeah, so I just included the command card counts for all of the narrative battle forces that are themed together. We've obviously got your 3 generic Mando cards that can be used by everybody. Covert has 8, Clan Ren has 6, Clan Saxon has 5, and Clan Kryze has 3. Which is like a third of the highest, it's like, okay.
That's 3 times as many as Mace Windu.
It is.
One more stray on the way down, Mace.
Yeah, but those units can go in Republic, so obviously they have to have less. That seems to be the
glorious. Absolutely
theme.
Glorious.
I will say, I was like, when we saw that Axe didn't have a command card, I was like, all right, fine. And then
Rook gets
one.
Then
Rook got one, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, like Ursa got one, Rook got one. I guess like Bo-Katan got 2, and Ursa only got 1. So maybe
Ursa only getting 1. I mean, she's a commander. Like, fine. Like, that's fine. But I think a large portion of this is that there is maybe an unfair is maybe not the right word, but there is an unequal amount of existing characters that are allowed in each one of these clans, right?
Sure.
In Covert, you've got Din, who's got 4. You've got in Ren, you've got Sabine, who's got 3, plus her new one, right?
That's fair.
And then in Saxon, you've got Gar Saxon, and everybody in Kryze is new, so obviously they have less.
That's fair.
And I mean, I think Kryze is still going to be pretty good, but it is kind of like one of those things. I will say you can still put together a Kryze list and have 6 non-Merc or Assault or generic command cards, right? You can take the 3 Mando ones, you can take both of Bo's 1 and 3, and then the generic Kryze one is a 2-pip. And look, you have 6 command cards that aren't Assault. I'm looking at you, Republic, where I have included Ambush and Assault in basically every Republic army for the last 3 years. So even though Kryze didn't get a ton of command cards, they still are coming out ahead.
Go figure. Well, zooming out again, the customizable whole is real here in terms of the knowledge about how all this stuff is going to work. So, like that's sort of a giant looming caveat above all of this.
I think there's a couple big things that we need to say about that. The first is that all of the personnel upgrades are unique in named characters.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to take any of them when you have to include one of the unique characters as like an actual unit in order to even take that faction at all. Whereas you could take a generic that is just branded like Clan Kryze, normally, to like be able to put those in.
And then put all the characters in the units.
You got it. And then the second thing is like, if like one of these Mando generics has to have Exemplar, right? Like that feels like,
I feel like it won't because of that Valor thing. Because they need to make it special,
I guess maybe, I don't know. I mean, like I would be, I guess, I'm going back and thinking like I
one
guess
would hope, Mike, is that if they didn't want Exemplar in the customizable Jedi, then they would take the same tack. And to be fair, they also didn't put it into the customizable super tax. They left that for like the.
I mean, they gave you guys. They gave you guys 8, which is.
Whoops. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I feel like 8 is. 8 is maybe more likely for the custom commander guys.
I still think that changes the conversation in almost the same way as the Exemplar one, because it's like if you are able to after playing the Battle Force once, like I really feel like the warriors, the non-special forces units specifically, have a tough time getting the tokens you need to like fuel the generators for a lot of this stuff.
Right.
And I feel like the customizables probably go a long way into solving that problem.
Probably.
If I had to guess, obviously, that cannot be the case, but if they don't solve that problem, they're all just beat sticks. Probably. Right?
Yeah, but some of these can be like we have a lot of potentially good beat sticks here. And along those lines, I guess like we can circle back to to the question you were asking earlier, which is, to what extent do you feel like we'll set the customizable thing completely aside because of just how many details we don't have. But to what extent do you think that the 4 mainline Mando affiliations makes sense to be able to limit yourself from a list construction standpoint in order to get that bonus ability?
Yeah. I think the worst one is definitely covert.
Covert, for sure.
By like to the point where I don't think you should really ever lock in on covert. At least again, there might be a reason to do that when the generics come out.
If you're doing covert, I feel like if you want a mostly covert army, then, you know, with pause and armor and like have all of your regular dudes be doing this is the way stuff, then I feel like you actually want Bo-Katan in that army with the Darksaber to be able to give a sweet keyword to everybody. But yeah, I agree with that one for sure.
And that's totally cool because, you know, as you know, Bo-Katan would tell you the same thing. They're not real Mandalorians.
Yeah, it's like I have to hang out with you freaking weirdos to keep your helmets on all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess they hit the theme there.
Sure.
I think the second worst one is Clan Saxon. Is my guess. I think it's a little bit of a win more.
Yeah.
You need to be like killing units in order to turn it on. I think it's very powerful. Don't get me wrong. But it is a static effect that relies on you killing a unit. And it's like, even, you know, I mean, they're only gonna, I mean, I guess it depends on if they're playing Rebels or not, but there's probably only gonna be like 10 to 12 times you can activate it over a course of a game.
Yeah. Exactly. And by the nature of the ability, like an ability that doesn't trigger until full unit attrition happens, is less able to affect the game state than something that actually affects your ability to get attrition in the first place, which is what the other, like the remaining 2 abilities do when it comes to getting a bunch of tokens out there or letting you guardian each other all the time.
Yeah, I think both Covert and Saxon are weak enough that I wouldn't feel bad about mixing them with other factions most of the time. I think. I think the Saxon keyword victory or death is very good.
That one's good.
I think that's excellent. I think you definitely need a way to mitigate the suppression you get off of it. And this is the way is also a very good keyword, but neither of those things require you to be, you know, full battle force. So
right.
Now the other 2 keywords, however, the other 2 Mando battle force effects, I think, are worth strong considerations in building, and you have to have good reasons not to break them. So let's start with Kryze. I think I'm not sure which one is stronger, but I think Kryze being able to retain 3 tokens. At face value, when I saw it, I was like, oh, that seems really weak. And then I played with it and I was like, I could see this being really good.
If you think about it, how many tokens go to waste in any given game and then they just like don't anymore?
Well, I want to paint this picture real quick. So imagine that ability and you also have 2 copies of Vigilance.
Right. And so you are keeping many tokens.
You're keeping 7 tokens basically, because, or 5 to 7, right?
5, at least 5.
And it's probably 7 because you can just like the ones on your special forces unit you can keep with the clan ability.
Oh, right, because you're gonna have Mando warriors with stuff with dodges. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
So like, and the thing is, that army also has Mandos stronger together. So every time you spend a token, you're getting a token back. So like, another way to look at that is like you have Nimble for tokens, except you get the reverse token every time, and then you're allowed to keep that token at the end of the turn with the Battle Force ability, right? So it's like you have Nimble but alternating, and like for the dodge tokens you use your Vigilance, and for the aim tokens you use the Mando Battle Force ability, and you just are holding 7 tokens every turn, and then just like regenning them every time. You know, it's just even without the Vigilances, it seems pretty powerful. It was like, oh yeah, at the end of the turn, my Axe Woes 7-man Clan Kreese unit is going to hold their 3 dodge tokens. And so at the start of next turn, would you like to shoot this unit before it does damage to you? Sure, you'd love to do that, but do you want to shoot into the 3 dodge tokens plus the one you got from Independent? You know, no,
Yeah,
no, you
no.
do not. So yeah, I think
And
that
just to
yeah.
make sure I understand, Mike, is so like let's say you have just Bo-Katan and Axe as your named characters, or you're a commander and operative.
Yeah.
And so then, like, especially like let's say Bo-Katan has Darksaber, which gives her allies a convenience.
Yep.
Is there anything that's like stopping you from just putting Clan Ren veterans into that army? Because then she would be able to order them, right? And then they would naturally have.
Well, you break the battle force ability when you do that, right? Because they have a separate affiliate. Well, first of all, you can't put Clan Ren veterans in that army because you don't have a Clan Ren character for starters.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how it works. That's how it works. Okay.
And then even if you did say take Bo, Axe, and Sabine, and to take a Clan
then you'd
Ren
be breaking.
you wouldn't
keep the tokens.
Correct.
So what I was getting at is that I guess there's not a situation to where you can have the Clan Kreese ability and also have Nimble out there at the same time. At least not technically Nimble. The Mandos are stronger together is kind of like a pseudo Nimble sort of deal.
I'm gonna be honest. If you could get Nimble on those units, it would be kind of insane.
Right. I mean that's the thing I was trying to sort of break in my brain was like to see. Now, honestly, in Clan Ren, go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is like you can still do that just in Clan Ren with while splashing Bo.
Right.
Like
you just wouldn't get to keep the extra tokens, but you can still have 2 copies of Vigilance out there and be keeping a bunch of dodges with all the Nimble peeps.
Well, when you say you can't keep the extra tokens, what do you mean?
Well, you wouldn't get the Clan Kreese ability.
Sure, but you would be able to. So you have a dodge token on your vet, right?
Yeah.
You have Mando stronger together, so when you spend a dodge token, you not only get the dodge token back from Nimble, you also get an aim, and then you can spend the aim to shoot, and you'll get another dodge token back.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. And then talking about the Clan Ren Battle Force ability, I'll say this: I'm not positive how this is going to work in Legion, but back in the day, I was like my first minis game was X-Wing. And there was a gentleman named Biggs Darklighter in that game. His only ability was to take damage when you were shooting somebody next to him, and so he was a sponge. Like he was the original Guardian, and the tactic was that. And so basically nobody really actually wanted to shoot Biggs. They wanted to shoot Wedge or Luke or whatever was flying in formation with him because they were doing like more damage. They were activating first to shoot your guys but like none of it mattered because Biggs was just like sort of siphoning off damage, and it was really good. Like for a while in the game, it was actually like the best list in X-Wing was just a bunch of X-Wings formation flying with Biggs.
Yeah.
That's obviously a game where it was like sometimes 4 ships versus 3 ships, so damage sharing was much more meaningful than in a big army game. But if you have universal damage sharing, like the thing that it achieves is that it makes it harder for your opponent to actually kill units. And so like if you're guardianing around, but for one thing, your Clan Ren peeps can be guardianing from Mando warriors who do not have natural surge to block. And by doing that, they are like upgrading their defense by a little bit at least. But just in general, the ability to split damage around sort of universally, it in theory is something that is like extraordinarily strong from a pure attrition standpoint. In practice, you do have to give a whole bunch of suppression tokens in order to do that now, which is why Obi-Wan got buried farther underground.
I
And yeah,
think
what do you think about all that?
I think that this is a very powerful ability. I do think that they may have buried it due to the suppression change to Guardian. I and don't get me wrong, maybe it was too good without the suppression thing,
I think it
but
would have been.
I maybe
It's like
I could.
unlimited, but people played Boyle like just to get it onto one unit, and like it was a thing. And now, like if you
Well,
could spread the love around,
so a couple things,
yeah,
right? Um, just because you're not taking suppression from Guardian doesn't mean you can't be suppressed to not use it, right? Like there
sure,
are like you can still, you take a sniper shot, you immediately can't Guardian anybody.
yeah, that's fair.
There's a lot of suppressive weapons in the game. It seems like they are printing overwhelm on basically everything, to say the least. It seems everywhere.
It does kind of seem
Um,
everywhere, huh?
and so I think that there's just like a lot more suppression. They seem to be printing just a lot of suppression effects, and whether that's good or bad, like that's a conversation for another time. But I do think Clan Ren has some like clear-cut deficiencies, I think, in the
Mm-hmm.
suppression management department. They do have graffiti tokens from Sabine, but you're only going to ever have one, maybe two, if you're playing both of her cards, which means you're playing the bad 2-pip too.
Yeah, Symbol of Rebellion, not great from a tempo
No.
standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they have Inspire 1 on Ursa. The entire faction right now panics at Courage 4, or at Force Suppression, which
yeah,
is,
boy, they would have problems with with slice comms or a lot of Empire lists. Like they would have problems with that, man.
once a unit Guardians twice, like it's suppressed. You don't have Compel. You don't. I mean, the Special Forces have Dauntless, but nobody else does. There's no, I don't know. I'm like really suspect. Again, this is a thing that the customizable commander could solve. Maybe the customizable commander has we've seen the Rebel one has a Dauntless bubble. Like that would be a big deal here.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
if there's an effect like that in the doctrine slot. So tough to say, but I do think that this is a very powerful effect, but I think the nerf to Guardian has maybe prematurely put this in the ground. But if it didn't put it in the ground, and that's a big if in my mind, this is going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Uh,
All right. Well, man, I guess that covers it. I'm glad that the stuff last week did come out, even though some of that was wasted time. Not all of it, in terms of us.
I mean, look, we
doing
had
an
to
early
make that
preview.
episode so that they
Yeah,
gave us
exactly.
the stuff, right?
Yeah. We do
That's
appreciate AMG splitting it up. Obviously, it was not about us at all, but it kind of worked out in our favor. And hey, extra bonus that we weren't able to talk about the customizables, so that we can have another episode that's focused on that, and then we can basically talk about one of these Battle Forces, the customizable one, for the very first time, since we have basically no idea how that actually works now.
yeah.
So extra bonus, yeah.
Are you like, to summarize, like pretty happy with what we've got here?
Yeah. I think that aside from the custom, assuming that ends up showing up late in terms of stores, like that would be a bummer from the standpoint of doing this, because like players are going to be stuck with some not so amazing, like they'll still be all fun with it, but they're obviously going to be pretty far from meeting their full potential. But
Sure.
yeah, I think that from a theme standpoint, it all seems like it's very, very on point. I think that they did a good job capturing the feels of these various things. I think that the way that Bo-Katan works with the Darksaber is actually like pretty thematic in terms of how things turned out in the show. It's like maybe a little bit weird that she would be leading a bunch of clan stacks and super commandos to take back Mandalore, but hey, to each their own. But yeah, I think that from a theme standpoint, it's like very much been nailed. From a balance standpoint, it seems like there's a lot of potential for massive token barfing, but of course, like if that is in the setting of being very limited from an army construction standpoint, not having barely any access to vehicles, zero access for anybody who is using like the non-customizable thing. So like if you're using unique characters, you don't have vehicles in your Mando battle force, which means that you don't have a mobile line of sight blocker, which means that in the world of hashtag sniper maxing, there could certainly be issues with being able to deal with that situation. But
I will say the one game that
yeah,
I played so far, the majority of my special forces Mandos died to snipers.
very interesting. I mean, because yeah, when you think about it, your opponent can only delay, you know, if you're running with 3 Clan Crease veterans,
Yeah.
or even if it's just 2, like they can only delay them so much, especially because from an order control standpoint, like you would absolutely have to have face ups on those, which may or may not be like super duper the best, and that means you're probably not playing standing orders, and so that means that there's going to be situations where a couple of snipers can get at your Clan Crease veterans if you don't have them perfectly hidden.
They're like minimum 5-man units, sometimes
it's not
6 to
easy
7.
to hide.
Tough to hide. Also, the problem I ran into, and this is like a little bit of a like, oh, Mike, you really, this is whatever, is that a lot of times they kill whatever they touch. So they end up not in melee
out there.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I give them charge with the Mando 3-pip, they move, you know, attack with 12 dice and 2 aim tokens, and all of a sudden they're in the wind because the thing that they charged is dead, which is great. But but then you lose 3 of them to snipers, which is, you know, 90 points for, you know. Yeah.
What do you think of the overall picture, Mike?
Well, first off, you know, you were talking about Bo-Katan leading Clan Saxon Mandos, and I just want you to know that Gar Saxon and Bo-Katan work together in Death Watch, so that's not really that unreasonable.
Oh, right. That was during her younger rebellious days.
So, Mr. Star Wars nerd, you're taking an L there.
I do have a big hole in my Star Wars knowledge when it comes to various Mandalorian things. We've already established this.
Yeah.
That was the part of Clone Wars where I just decided to take a break, and the part of Rebels that I never paid attention to, which is to say most of Rebels, because it wasn't a very good show. Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm overall, I think, pretty happy with what we got. I think it's less pigeonholey than I anticipated it being. I definitely did not expect to be able to mix and match clans in the way that we're going to be able to. I think that that's great. I think my gut reaction is I'm happy about that. You know, 3 months from now, maybe I don't feel that way. We'll see. I think I have hopes that are marginally also expectations, and I feel like there's some missing things. Like I wish that there was like some vehicle options, and I wish that there were like some generic personnel options too for a lot of these squads. Like don't get me wrong, like the characters in the personnel slots are cool and all have unique effects, but like it's sometimes hard to take like 6 or 7 man squads because your characters are in the character slots, right?
It's possible that the custom Mandos are going to have a personnel option for them.
I think that's very possible. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. After building a bunch of lists for the past 4 or 5 days, I guess now. I guess it's really not that long. It's only been like 3.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah, I've like played a game already, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's really only been 72 hours. I think they are gonna have suppression issues, and I think they might have like a really difficult time fighting into the present meta. I think that if this was a normal meta or even like the world's meta, I think they would have been probably fine. And they might still be, to be clear. These special forces options are very powerful, but it is very difficult to keep your units safe right now.
It'll be interesting because, you know, we talked about all sort of the token dumping stuff, but Uh, if it's a situation where you have to be in mega token dumping zone in order to actually make these units efficient, then that does seem like it's kind of a tightrope. But granted, even though it is only one box, the customizable box does leave a giant knowledge hole
It
with
does.
regards to all of this. So I think that
think
we're going to have to revisit the Mando balance question.
Yeah, I would not be terribly surprised to see the special forces options come down, 10 points apiece, and the initiates
Yeah.
come down like 5 or something in the next update once we kind
Mhm.
of everything shakes out on the table. That's my, again, gut reaction. I'm not even really upset about that, to be honest. I think the special forces options at their current price points are operating a lot better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
I was actually like, I took 3 clan crees in my game. Um, I was able to kill a lot of stuff. That unit is very good. It's just like once it starts attritioning, um, it's tough. It is notable that it's like split firing with that unit actually feels pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can be like, I'm gonna throw like 3 red, 3 white at this unit, and then throw like 5 black over here, and like you actually generally when you're split firing, it is very difficult to like be in the window of securing 2 kills at once against multiple targets. And with them, it actually, like, if you're shooting at like deteriorated units, it actually did not seem that unlikely. So um
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah, next week, who knows whether we're maybe going to have some custom Mando news, or if not, then we'll probably be talking about my early experiences with Onaka Gang. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm going to a GT next weekend, so we'll probably,
Oh, yeah.
depending on if we record before that or after that, we'll
Yeah, we'll have
probably
some stuff to talk
have
about.
some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and then who knows? I don't know how long. I don't remember how long on the horizon we have the Jedi High Council to look forward to, but that that'll be some stuff to talk about. Mike's distant stare as I just send one more stray blaster ball towards Mace Windu's direction before we tie up the episode. But yeah, I think that's all we got. So, Mike, how do we land the plane on top of Mace Windu's crumbling, charred corpse?
Well, obviously we've got to add some white dice to our attack pool because we've taken some wounds. But this has been the Notorious Scoundrels, season 4, episode 61. I'm Mike.
I'm Evan.
Stay fresh, Mando bags.